automatically with your whatever your browser. Yes, click on that and make. Hey everybody! Thank you so much for coming to watch Vox Machina, our charity game raising funds for the Able Gamers Foundation. I am really excited about this. Just thank you so much for being here. So thank you, just real quick to Variant Roles for letting us host this. If you would like to make any donations, Able Gamers is a foundation. It's a nonprofit that helps disabled gamers to acquire accessible gaming equipment, which is very expensive and pretty much never, ever covered by insurance. So it's a really wonderful charity that helps make gaming more accessible for everybody, which, we think is a wonderful cause to support. I myself am disabled, and it really means a lot to have that charity out and doing some good work. So I want to do what we can to help support them. If you want to make a donation, there is a link. You can just click the donate link in the panel for Variant Roles. It'll be in either like a specific information panel if you're on mobile, or you can just scroll down if you are on your desktop. There are also going to be some bot reminders just periodically dropping the link in chat. So if you would like to help support Able Gamers, just do it right on through that link. Now, boop, boop, boop. Just to sort of set the stage very quickly, this is a one shot that I have written myself. Just some of it is, mostly going to be using a lot of information from the Taldore campaign guide. It is set 20 years after Campaign 1. There are Campaign 1 Critical Role spoilers, so heads up. We are going to do our best to avoid anything from Campaign 2. So, chat, please do your best. Don't spoil anything for fellow critters in the chat for the current campaign, please. Now, this is going to be taking place actually at about 20 years after the first campaign. So this is 20 years after the defeat of the Chroma Conclave. Our characters are all playing members of Vox Machina, the Taldore chapter of the Exandria's Vox Machina fan club. They are heading to Western to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Umbrasyl's defeat. Now, before we totally get started, let's go around and let the players introduce themselves. Let us know, who you are, where we can find you, anything else that you want to share about yourself. Let's start with Anna.
Hey everybody, my name is Anna. I also go by Nymeria, and you can find me at Nymeria941 on Twitter, like the dire wolf that went missing and was never seen from again. Are we introducing our characters now too?
You could say, give your, name and race, class, but you could describe what you look like when we get going.
Okay, sounds good. So my character is going to be a gnome barbarian named Xana.
Awesome. Nat, let's start with you next. Oh, no, where are you?
What? That's what we get for muting things. Hi, I'm Nat. I am the Tuesday DM. You can find me on Twitter at CrimeNat. I am a newsletter producer for RPG Kitchen, where you try to uplift and spotlight indie RPG creators. So if you want to show off your work to the world, we don't make any money off it. We're just about uplifting and showing you off. So, but yeah, I have Sam's above me, right? Sam has done stuff for us before. We're pretty cool. I'll be playing Ava today, a Gloomstalker ranger who believes she carries the blessing of Vaxil Dawn. She's a little inaccurate, but that's okay.
I love her already. All right, Mustang, who are you, where we can find you, and tell us a little bit about your character.
Hey, I'm Mustang and/or Sarah. I don't mind which, really. You can find me on Twitter, which is at MustangsArt. I am also the DM for Heroes Without Limits, which is a 5th edition D&D stream, which Sam is in as a player, called Twilla, who is a barbarian and an Earth Genasi. And we basically try to give out better representation of disabled, chronically ill, and neurodivergent folks. And we also try to educate people who come and watch. And we also have a Discord, which is on the pinned tweet of the Twitter account, which is at H without limits. And I basically, on my own Twitter, advocate for better disability representation in Dungeons and Dragons. And I have also made my own Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition class called a Łowca, which is based on the Polish setting in the Witcher books. So if you fancy playing a Witcher style character, you can check that out. It's on my Twitter. Yeah, I am playing Quinn Keslow, who is a human blood hunter and warlock multi-class, and I'm really excited to play him.
Awesome, thank you. And Sam, tell us about you, where we can find you, and a bit about your character.
Yes, thank you, Sam. This is Sam.
Wonderful, Sam.
Good to see you, Sam. There must always be two of a Sam. I'm Samtastic with 3 M's. You can call me Tastic if it's easier, because all the Sams in the universe are here. I just forgot everything about how to talk, like be a person. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at Samtastic. I yell a lot about advocating for like mental health issues mostly. And you know, everything. I'm gay. Tonight I'll be playing Vinland Noradev, and she just wants to be the best bard that you have ever darn seen. And we'll see if she gets to do that.
Wonderful. And Mike, tell us about you. Where can we find you? And tell us about your character a little bit.
Hey, I'm Mike. My Twitter is at Silent Chariot. My character is named Taliesin. He's an Earth genocide.
And he's a gunslinger, right?
Yep, gunslinger. Yep.
It's an appropriate name. I appreciate the homage. I'm sure Tal's and Jaffe would too. Okay. So let's see. I do want to thank at Gloss and Gadgets over on Twitter. She's the one who designed the beautiful overlays that we have for today. She donated her time and amazing talent for this charity stream. So thank you so much. That's at Gloss and Gadgets on Twitter. And I also want to thank, just real quick, Torn Pixie Twitch, also on Twitter. She's the one who posted the guide for how to get these web captions up. So I never knew this was a thing until she posted about it and made a wonderful tutorial that let us get this going. So I just want to say thank you for helping to make D&D and gaming streams way more accessible than they were before. All right, so let's do this. So it is a cold but brilliantly sunny day. The winter chill is not too harsh this morning in Westruun. The air is crisp and refreshing, if a tad biting in your lungs as you inhale. But in time, you get used to it. Plus, you are warmed from within by the excitement of today's events looming ahead, because today is the day that you've been waiting for. You are finally going to meet in person. As members of the official Vox Mockina Fan Club of Exandria Tal'Dorei chapter, you have been writing to one another for some time now. Years for some of you, just months for others. The chapter president, a halfling named Primrose, who you know to be a cleric of the Changebringer, has arranged a special lunch meeting with the fan club members and the one and only Pike Trickfoot herself. You've all been drawn to the fan club by your own reasons. Perhaps it is hero worship of the mighty adventurers Vox Machina who saved the very lands that you walk on now. Maybe it's simply curiosity. What are those nerds up to tracing around Tal'Dorei, fighting monsters and pretending to be other heroes? But when does this pretending stop? When do you cross the line from hero worship and idolization to becoming a hero yourself? This question looms in the back of your mind as you make your way to the designated meeting spot in front of the World Market in the Market Ward. As you walk through the streets of Westruun, the spirit of celebration washes over you. You hear music, talking, and laughter. You see brightly colored white and yellow banners and flags adorning buildings with arches of long sheer fabric glittering with magically lit up lights. Children run around waving toy wooden giants' axes and bows, and yelling after other children wearing garish dragging masks. Cartoonish characterizations of what you recognize to be Umbra Sill, the Hope Devourer, whose defeat everybody in town is celebrating today. Ava, as you approach the World Market, which is a massive auction house where traders and merchants from across all of Exandria come to share their wares, you see that stalls are setting up. Here already, it's about 11 or so in the morning. You've got food merchants, you've got people selling goods, games, and you look around, scanning the crowd, and you are able to see two of your companions wandering around. As you make your way towards Quinn, catching his attention, let us know what they see, Ava.
Ava, you see a very deep, dark midnight blue cloak over a dark hair and pale-skinned woman. She got these haunting eyes that just don't seem natural. The black irises may be just a little too large. Wicked axes and blades, accoutrement all about her. She walks forward at you with purpose and maybe just a slight air of menace.
Okay, and Quinn and Taliesin, please describe yourselves. You have found each other on your way to the market as Ava approaches you. So Quinn, why don't you go first?
Yeah, Quinn is probably leaning against one of the walls of these buildings. His arm is crossed, and you can quite plainly see on his left hand there is a brace that holds two of his leftmost fingers straight. He wears a sort of coat over the top of his armor. There is a rapier at his right hip, and most noticeably is his left leg, which he has bent at the prosthetic knee, and the sort of foot end of his prosthetic is leaned up against the wall. And it is a bent sort of shape. It's almost treated the same way that a wooden bow is treated, like to pull back and it arches. So this prosthetic has clearly been made for running and dexterity. It's designed to take impact. And his left side of his face has scars down it, like I have done myself. And he has in his left eye, both of them are red, or you can guess the left one was originally red, but it has now become milky, a sort of a pale pinkish color, because he is blind in his left eye. And on his right wrist, you see a small patch of scars that have formed like a knotted piece of scar tissue. And you also see on the front of his wrist, his right wrist, is a sort of faded black and grey raven tattoo. Yeah, and he's probably just sort of leaning, listening to Taliesin making idle conversation.
Awesome. Taliesin, what do you look like?
I'm wearing a leather armor. I have like really like powdery like looking skin with like little brass studs all throughout my body. With like brass looking hair and a goatee. Like really silver eyes. Yeah, and I'm just talking to Quinn. With like also with like real dots of like silver or brown and blue throughout my body as well.
Okay, cool. I love the like image of a grassy like facial hair for an Earth Genasi. That's really cool. All right, so Ava, you come up to this duo and you recognize them easily as based on their appearance from their written descriptions in the letters.
Hail, well met.
Yo.
Quinn nods, just like a curt little nod.
I pull up the hood of my cloak and kind of settle in by them.
All right. Now that there is a group of the three of you all collected, Xana and Venlin, who have also found each other. You see this collection of people who you recognize. Please describe yourselves as you join your new companions. Why don't we start with Venlin?
Yes, hello, I'm Vinland. So what you see when you look at me, I've got like kind of like an improvised cloak over it. It's not very good looking. I tried really hard though. And like my sister's hand-me-down armor, and the big would be oversized. It's almost like too small shield because I'm like an annoyingly tall half elf. So things are like, I don't know, off disproportionately all the time. And what you would assume is a rapier, and then an annoyingly large bag that should probably be a bag of holding, but isn't. Like, get a bag of holding, she didn't. And, you know, I'm tall, I'm really lanky, the hair in pigtails. I've got my beret, because everyone needs a good beret.
It's very important.
It's very important. Yeah. Making my way looking for people, just say, hey, how's it going? Everybody? Am I late?
Fantastic. And Xana is trotting along behind you. And Xana, what do you look like?
Right. So coming up to about the knee height of this really tall half elf is a little gnome girl. She looks like maybe she could blow away during a really strong gust of wind. She's very heavily weighted down with a giant shield and a big war hammer slung across her back that looks like it was maybe made out of some cogs and gears and little, leftover mechanical components fashioned into this weapon. Other than that, she's wearing just like fairly normal clothes that forest gnomes wear. They're kind of old, made of like earthy materials. She's not really wearing shoes or anything to do with personal appearance aside from this like paint that kind of looks like it could be camouflage, or maybe like she just slept in it and forgot to wash it off. And she's very small.
Oh my God, she's a monster. All right. So your entire party is finally united after years, months, weeks of writing back and forth, getting to know each other, and your shared love, admiration, or curiosity about the legendary adventurers Vox Machina, who Westruun are celebrating today. Now you know that you've got your lunch meeting at the Slayers Take Westruun location, colloquially known as the Taker's Bake. And you've got maybe about half hour, 45 minutes before your meeting time. It's not that far, only a few blocks away. So if you wanted to partake in some of the local games, you certainly could. As you look around, you see there are, most people are still kind of getting set up as the afternoon is really when the festival gets going. But you see one stand that has all kinds of like gauzy drapings and wind chimes and bells on it. And it's got a little parchment sign reading that it is a stand put up by the Uminor Observatory, and that they are offering special divination readings for a discount. Normally it is 10 gold pieces for a reading from them. For this special festival, you can get it for only 5 gold pieces. Additionally, you see that the Baroness and Champion's Trial is set up, which is an archery or dagger game. You can choose whichever weapon you want to give a try for. You get a couple of different targets you could try to hit, and depending on which you get most hits in, you win a certain prize. So you are welcome to partake in some in game times, or you could head on over to the Taker's Bake and get there early. It is up to your decision, Vox Machina. Machina. What would you like to do?
I would go up to where the archery range is, or where the archery game is.
Sure. So you guys all meet up, and Taliesin starts heading over to the Baroness and Champions trial. If anybody would like to follow, you see that there is a kind of elderly human with graying hair just pulled back into a bun. They have the simple armor of the shields of Western. They're pretty much like the town guards. They're covering kind of like, double duty, helping out, that funds raised from the festival go to help continuing, works at the throughout the city. So it is three silver pieces. Sorry, just saying pieces. Three silver pieces. There are three targets set up. Target number 1 is a very close target. You can tell it's kind of meant for like kids to have a chance to, try to hit and actually win something. Target number 2 is a sort of regular distance, as in, just it's within the first, range of a dagger or a short bow. And then the third target actually costs 5 silver pieces to try. And this is in the latter half, so it would be disadvantaged to try to make your hits on this target. The short bow is clearly like not really a formal short bow. It doesn't shoot the full short bow range, so that target is only like 120 feet away, but it's a junky bow. Like any archers in the group are definitely kind of like when they look at it. But if you get 3 shots at any target, and you win a prize based on whatever you get the most, if you get 2 or more targets. And that should you try the third target, there's actually a cash prize. You get half of whatever that extra like silver piece cost to compete in it is. So anybody who would like to could choose either the dagger or a short bow, and you can give it a shot to play.
Well, I really prefer for my fighting to be a little bit more up close and personal, so I think I'm just going to sit back and support you guys from the sidelines, okay?
Sam, go.
I was just going to say at this point, Quinn has wandered off. But he was walking with you guys and then started the Umanor Observatory readings and was like, yeah, I'll go for that. Because Quinn puts quite a lot into fate. So yeah, he's going to go for a reading.
I would have probably followed because that sounds super interesting, and also Quinn's really cool. I just want to get to meet him.
Excellent. So we've got Quinn and Venlin over at the Umanor Observatory. Okay, and then who's sticking around here?
I was wondering if there was like a candied or caramelized apple stand somewhere nearby.
Oh, there absolutely are.
Okay, so
sounds really good.
I would take out my pistol, twirl it around my finger a bit, see if it's loaded, and ask if I could use it for the game instead of the short bow or the axe.
The elderly guard with their hair pulled back just kind of looks shocked and a little confused, and just goes, no, I'm sorry, we don't allow any firearm use in the city. Especially on the festival, please, we don't want any trouble like that here, not today. But you are welcome to, use any of the equipment supplied, and you see some like really like rusty, junky daggers, some that are put aside that are like super blunt that you can tell are kind of like for kids. And you see some, really cheap short bows, like, maybe some carpenter's apprentice was like hired to practice making these or something. Like they're intern bows.
So am I the only one here? Did everybody else go to the Umanor Observatory?
Right now, I think you are the only one at the trial. Ava went to go search for snacks, so she would have headed off right across the street. There is a wonderful smelling booth labeled Trinkets Treats, from which you can see all kinds of tasty morsels. And the others went to the Humanor
Uh,
Observatory, I believe, correct?
Yeah, I'm at Trinket's Treats.
You're at Trinket Streets, okay.
I'm always
Uh,
hungry.
Ava is setting up skulking nearby the kind of candy apple things, with a little fire that caramelizes it. She's just staring darkly into it, contemplating eternities and the mortality of the world, and if she could even still feel that burning fire, if the pain would revive her lost memories of darkness and pain.
Does she get an apple?
She gets an apple afterwards.
Yeah, all right. Excellent. That'll be 2 copper.
Sure.
It's a one shot, so yeah. You don't need to mark things. Okay, so let's cycle back then to the observatory, where we have Quinn and Venlin. Tal, you're hanging out at the trial, or did you want to go and join like one of the other groups? It's totally whatever.
No, once learning that, I would go to the Humanor Observatory.
Okay. All right, cool. So then we've got Quinn, Venlin, and Taliesin at the Humanor Observatory, which you see is a just a small stand, with a small parchment. There's glittering like tiny little drift globes of maybe like a permanent kind of dancing lights effect that is fluttering around. It's really, really very lovely. And as you approach, a gray-skinned tiefling with long white hair and bright yellow eyes opens the curtains, and she just smiles brightly at you and goes, "Oh, are you here for some readings?"
Yeah, Quinn pulls out, it was 5 gold pieces, wasn't it?
It is 5 gold pieces, correct.
Okay, Quinn pulls out 5 gold pieces and gives her a smile and says, we're here for a reading.
Oh, excellent. Well, today we are giving star readings out for this wonderful discount price. These are special readings that will enable you to, better predict the outcome of, an event within the next day or so. So just to summarize in layman's terms, anybody who takes one of these star readings for the next 24 hours, once you get this reading, you may roll 1d20, note the results, and you may exchange that for any d20 roll made by a creature you can see within the next 24 hours. So it's like a kind of watered down mini, divination portent kind of deal. This is something that is built in within the Teldore guide. That was just really fun that I wanted to build into the one shot. So anybody who would like may do that. I will just also allow anybody who didn't go to the thing just yet to, see what's going on and opt to go and pay the 5 gold to get one yourselves.
I'm in for it.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to do that may go ahead and roll your d20 now, and at some point within this one shot, you may exchange a roll. I would say, yeah, go ahead, do it up.
Couldn't hurt. It's a 9.
Nice.
15.
And you can 15,
15.
16.
Awesome.
I got an 8. No, that's a 13. I can't read, Scanlan's fucking die.
Damn it, Scanlan.
Scanlan.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, and I actually just happened to glance at chat. I haven't had too much of an eye on it. For anybody new, we are raising funds today for the Able Gamers Foundation, which is a nonprofit charity that helps disabled gamers to get accessible gaming equipment and action. Okay, so has everybody rolled your dice?
Yes, I
Yep.
have.
Fantastic. Yep. Okay, so at this point, y'all still have about 15 minutes or so for your lunch meeting. That is still opportunity for anybody who wants to play a trial. I believe Ava is munching happily on or maybe not so happily on a caramel apple right now, but
Very moodily.
very moodily. Excellent. The candy apples absolutely have like little candy pieces so that they look like little like bears.
Santa has bought 10 of them, and she's just very methodically trying to eat all of them, so it's not going to look rude when they show up to lunch, but I'm really, really hungry.
I love it. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
After his reading, Quinn is just sort of like wandering around, admiring everything. And for anybody who happens to just be walking by him, we'll hear him sort of muttering under his breath to himself. And it's just stuff like, stop being impatient. Like 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. Like, and probably is drawing a lot of weird stares until he sort of sighs and gives in. And this mist sort of rises from the raven tattoo. The tattoo actually lifts completely from his skin and forms a raven that comes and perches on his shoulder, like a misty raven. And like the raven sort of squawks really like angrily, and like he's like, "Are you happy now? You wanted out. You're out."
Oh my goodness. I love it.
And this raven is called Keeper.
Keep.
Wow.
Let me note that.
Keeper, you said?
Yeah, Keeper.
Okay.
They have a volatile relationship.
What? I couldn't tell.
And yeah, at this point, Quinn, to sort of appease Keeper, will go and buy one of these candied apples and just sort of hold it there while the raven's eating it.
Oh my goodness. I love the visual there. Okay, excellent. So if nobody is looking to play any more games, you start to make your way as a group towards the Slayer's Take, unless I'm wrong. I just don't want to like cut anybody's festival.
I am ready to meet Pike Trickfoot. It is time. I have good.
Excellent. All right, so you guys start making your way through the streets towards the Taker's Bake. And as you are going, there is a actually, what do we got for people's passes? Anybody have one over 15? 15 or over?
I have a 16.
Oh, look at you nerds. All right. You perceptive nerds. All right. So Venlin and Ava are able to hear a not too distant, very loud crashing sounds. Everybody else might hear like a loud noise, but it just sort of falls into the din of the city. But the two of you hear like a very abrupt and loud sound, and you're pretty sure you hear what sounds like a very loud kind of roar, like not quite animal like, just like somebody is very angry somewhere. And as you look around, you can tell that it seems to be in the direction that you're heading to the Taker's Bake. And as you stand in the midst of the street, you see people starting to rush back away from the Taker's Bake. What would you like to do?
Did the rest of us hear it? We just weren't sure what was causing it.
You guys would hear it as not something to be alarmed about.
Got it. Okay.
There's some kerfuffle up ahead. I don't know what, but they're mad people. Somebody's mad. We're gonna have to fight them. No, we don't fight them. No, we can fight them, probably. Is there fighting?
I don't know who runs away from a bakery.
Now you hear, just some more yelling, and people are starting to run a little bit more quicker, and more panicked.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on over there?
I will nervously check that my guns are loaded and start fidgeting with them a little bit.
Ava just sighs, puts the hood up on her cloak, and takes out a couple axes.
Quinn throws that candied apple aside upon seeing everybody start to run so he can go to reach his sword, and Keeper sort of squawks really angrily, hits him around the head with like a wing, and he's like, I can't help it. Somebody's in trouble. And it's just like the raven screaming at him. It's like, will you shut up? You're always like this. You start an argument wherever we go.
I love the one-sided raven conversations.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Okay, so you guys start making your way down the street, and you come to a T intersection where you see the source of this kerfuffle as who I don't recall who said it, but good word. Thank you. So you arrive at the intersection and you see across the street and sort of to your left what you know to be the Taker's Bake. There is a beautifully painted sign up the top. You see a wide open door. The street at this point is more or less abandoned, except for the next to the door of the Slayer's Take is a hole in the wall and a bunch of rubble. And there are 2 unmoving bodies just laying within the rubble. You see in an alleyway between the Slayer's Take and yourselves, pretty much running towards the back of the building, 2 kind of large individuals, which Ava, with your 16 perception, you would be able to see that one of them has like a heavy and bloodied mace in one hand. And you hear the sounds of continued fighting coming from the open door of the bakery. So y'all can roll initiative now.
Oh, dang.
Delightful.
Just before initiative, would
Yes.
I have time to send my raven just to go and scope this out?
Just like up to the sky and like outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, because at this point you like as you were approaching, you had like about a block or so of knowing something weird was up. So.
Quinn does this like really like cool dramatic point and is like, Keeper, go and scope it out. And like Keeper just gives him a look and he's like, if you do it, I'll buy you pastries. And like the raven immediately flies off to go check this out for him. And I can see through the eyes of my raven and hear what the raven hears as well.
Awesome.
You guys, I have advantage on initiative, and I'd like to point out I just rolled a 2 and a 3.
Oh.
Proud of you.
No.
I'd like to point out that I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
The
Okay.
first nat 20, and now it all goes downhill from here.
I'm sorry, it was a 2 and a 3 for Xana.
It was a total of 5, but it wasn't very, very good for. It wasn't very good for someone that's usually more on top of things.
Okay. And who am I still missing? Venlin?
15.
15. And Ava?
26.
26. Look at you.
I have 22.
22?
Yep.
Okay. 22. All right, so hang on. Let me just rewrite my order so that I don't panic and mess something up. All right. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm so scared I'm gonna like accidentally miss somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I haven't said mine yet.
Oh, okay. So what is yours, Quinn?
Quinn got an 18, and my raven Keeper got an 18 as well.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. I may end up just keeping Keeper on like your initiative anyway, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Because,
Is Keeper a familiar?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Okay.
It's a warlock, warlock of the Raven Queen dealing.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Keeper is a sentinel raven who hates
so-
Quinn.
What? I mean, what? Okay, that was 18. Okay. I'm sorry I'm taking so long.
You're good.
You're fine. In this moment, as we're collecting our thoughts before combat, I just want to let all of you know that even though I just met you, you're now under the protection of my Warhammer. And so as long as you stick close to me, it means that none of us can be surprised. Nobody can be surprised attack, even if we're asleep. It'll just wake me up and tell me that danger is nearby. So, yeah.
That is good to know.
Fancy.
Okay, well then we will begin with Ava.
So you mentioned bloody war mace person.
Yes, let's see, you guys are, I've got like little stickies that I'm using for everybody.
Nice.
Boop, boop, boop. All right, You guys are 30 feet away from the closest person, who I'll say is the person with the bloodied mace in their hand. They've got
All
like,
right.
yeah.
I'm going to dash forward because the first round of combat I have a slightly higher move speed.
Okay.
And I'm going to get to where I can survey the action a little bit and try to see if this is what bloody mace person is combating.
Okay. So make a so you're just trying to see like what he was fighting or is fighting?
I mean, if it was another person or if there's like a giant crocodile in the room. I don't know.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Sure. 25?
Yeah, okay. So as you look from the cultist who's making his way out of the door, you can look past him into the door where you hear the sounds of fighting still going. And you see a flash of like bright green lights and movements, and you see what looks like a small, brightly dressed like halfling form go like running across your viewpoint. And you hear just like a deeper kind of like as like somebody else got like hit with something. You know that you were coming to the Slayer's Take to meet a halfling cleric president of your fan club.
Correct. So I would like to attack the thing that they're fighting. Is that the cultist?
The cultist, with that roll, I would say you can tell is clearly trying to flee the scene. So you know that the cultist, like there's somebody that you can't see who's being fought in the building, and you saw the halfling dealing with that. There's somebody outside of the building who has a bloody mace who seems to be trying to flee.
All right. I'm going to kick that person's
Yeah,
butt.
do it up. Go for it.
All right. So I'm going to make that good old ranger quad attack.
Oh, jeez. Go for it. This is going to be quick.
Those are good numbers. How does a 16 do?
Oh, 16 will hit.
So that
you
means
got a rapier, scimitar?
So these are scimitar. They're axes, but they're scimitars. Because
Okay.
I just like the feel. So that means all four of them are going to hit.
Excellent.
Because that was the lowest. And with my Gloomstalker and my 4 axe combo, I could add a D8 on top of it. That's 42 slashing damage in a whirlwind of bloods and blade.
Oh, 40.
Blades and blood.
Holy crap. Yeah, for 42, you actually just slice through this person who, as you get closer, you see they're just wearing kind of dark clothing with a fancy looking pin on their cloak. But you're too busy like freaking like hurricane of bladesing it up. And this person just drops with that mace rolling away in the dirt. His companion, who's a little further down the alleyway, looks back, and you just hear like a and they, ready to continue moving. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
I will glare at them in Hunter's Mark.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that person is Hunter's marked.
The best kind of glare.
All right, and this person is down. And next up in the order, we have Taliesin.
All right, I'll step back about 30 feet.
Okay.
And I'll...
You're going back 30 feet, or you're going towards them 30 feet?
No, I'm going back, so I'm about 60 feet away.
Okay.
Then I'll take out my pepper box, and I'll attack the other one, the one that wasn't attacked yet.
Okay, the guy who's still standing, he is Hunter marked currently, so yes, go ahead.
All right.
Your attack. You take out your pepper box, aim in your sight, and fire.
9.
9. You you fire a little bit wide. It goes zipping past this person, and you definitely see them kind of jump as they hear this like bizarre and very unexpected whir of just force go past them. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
I'll just craft a rock, craft a rock in my hand and try throwing it at him.
Throwing at him. Okay. That's like 60 feet, so I would probably be at disadvantage because you're pretty far. I don't know how far.
Just like a small rock to distract him or something, just to annoy him.
Okay, sure. So you could throw a rock in his direction.
All right.
Just like teach him what for.
Yeah.
Just like, and take that too. And you hurl a hard rock at him. Excellent. Anything else?
No. Or I'll see if there's any place I can take cover or anything.
To take cover. I mean, you can try to sort of hide around like the edge of one of the buildings. It would keep you still pretty far from combat.
No, I'll stay where I'm at then.
Okay. All right. And next up is Quinn and Keeper.
Okay. So what's Keeper exactly seeing at this moment?
Keeper is up in the sky, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. That is a nat 20.
Nat 20. That's awesome. Okay, so from up in the sky, Keeper looks down and sees, your party scattered throughout the streets. There's the T intersection. At like, the long bottom part of the T is where you guys were coming from. That's where most of the party still is. Ava is across the intersection near the bakery. And as Keeper looks down, he sees the one cultist still fleeing down the alley between the bakery and another building. But what really catches his eye are he sees three dark shapes on top of a couple of the buildings. And as he looks closer, they look, actually, I would say make a nature check to see if you recognize, because are you looking through Keeper's eyes right now?
Yeah. That is a 19.
Okay, so you would recognize these as some kind of drake.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see they're a little strange, like not really one that you've seen before. These look very much like almost like tiny black dragons.
How close is the nearest one?
To Keeper?
To Quinn.
To Quinn. That one is actually on the rooftop of the building right next to the party right now.
Okay. Using my boots of spider climbing, I'm going to climb up the side of the building and onto the roof.
That's amazing.
To face this drake. I have my rapier drawn at this point as well.
It's fantastic, and you have now essentially ambushed the ambush drake. So that is fantastic. Please go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, bonus action, I'm going to, where the knot of scars is on Quinn's right wrist, he's going to draw his rapier across it as he runs, casting his Crimson Right, which is cold. It's the Crimson Right of the Frozen. So the blood on the blade actually starts to become frozen and juts out in shards that like move along the blade.
That is amazing.
And he's going to run and take as much of a whack as he can at this drake.
Make your attack, please.
Okay, that is a 26.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, 8, 18, sorry, 1 second, that's 7. That is 13 piercing damage.
Okay. I've got so many windows open right now. Oh my god, I've never wished I had 2 monitors more.
Yeah, so that's 13 piercing damage, 4 cold damage, and because I have the feat of defensive duelist, I get my proficiency added to my armor class, so my armor class is now 19 instead of 16.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. So that was, I'm sorry, it was 4 plus how much damage?
13.
Okay. Okay.
So Quinn does this run up and sort of just half like jumps, swings his rapier, and you see like all the frozen shards of blood scatter down the blade and into it.
That's amazing. So you just slash into this ambush drake that looks very much like a sort of miniaturized black dragon. And it's looking very, very injured after that, but is still standing, and it just hisses at you. Is there anything that Keeper wants to do? I don't know what Keeper could do in combat.
Yeah, he can attack.
Okay, cool. So if Keeper would like to make an attack, I'd say I think he was flying like 60 feet up, so I also don't know what his speed is.
I have to telepathically command him to do things. And I rolled a nat 1, so Keeper hates me. So Quinn once again is like, that cool, like, back me up to Keeper, and Keeper's like, no, and just flies away.
Yeah, pretty much. Just keeps doing is like lazy, like, oh, what? No, I didn't hear you. I'm looking for things.
And my Crimson Bright obviously takes 4 HP off my max HP at the moment.
Okay, cool. Excellent. And let's see, it is now Primrose's turn. And from inside the building, you hear a loud, like, echoing tinkling of bells. And then really frustrated, like, oh, come on! When the freaking person that your club president is fighting nat 20s their save. Next up, we have Venlin. What would you like to do?
Hey, hello. So there were 2 unconscious bodies.
I mean, you could take a look to tell if they would be if they're unconscious or.
Friend or foe, can I tell?
Let's see. You are actually pretty far from in the intersection right now. So you can make a perception check from here. You can use your movement and take a look.
Let's try the perception check first. Fingers crossed at a number. I just forgot how to play D&D. 24.
24. Okay. Yeah. With that, you take a look, and you see that the 2 people that are mostly buried in what looks like this sort of collapsed wall are definitely not alive anymore. They are not moving. But as you take a look, you see that they're wearing similar looking cloaks and armor to the people that Ava is fighting and the person that you see fleeing down the alleyway.
Okay. Mental note. Good to know. Okay, so we got Drake City. Can't really help with that.
Yeah, did Quinn communicate to the party that there were creatures up on the roof before he just like ran up, or did he just like dart off and
you know what? You've given me an out, so I will say yes that he did.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just hear like it goes, holy shit, there's like drakes on the roof, and you just see him run up the side of a building and he's gone. Like
okay.
Excellent. So you still don't know which roof the other, which roofs, but there's stuff on the roof now.
Cool.
Good day, Westruun.
And then Ava's going after the other one?
Yes, Ava is currently standing kind of actually like right in front of the alleyway where the last person is still is fleeing down. And you can hear the sounds of combat in the bakery itself.
Okay. I'm going to give a Bardic Inspiration die to Xana.
Thank you.
Which it's a D8.
And I just add that to everything, anything?
Yeah, you can do the normal, but you can also do the Valor stuff, which is I'm learning.
You're muted, Nat.
I want to say it's AC or damage.
Let's see. You can roll the die. Weapon damage. I can't. I literally just.
No worries.
There's a Bardic Inspiration die. You can roll that die and add the number to a weapon damage roll. So you can add it to damage, and you can also add it to. You can use your reaction to add it to your AC against one attack. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
In addition to the other things. So I'll just kind of look around and everyone's doing really cool stuff, and I'll look at you and you look really cool in your war paint with your war hand fancy and stuff, and I'm just gonna kind of be like, reach out for a fist bump and be like, you got this. Yeah,
I got this.
Yeah, you got this. I don't got it. And I'm gonna go after Ava with my rapier.
Surprisingly hard punch given the height of this gnome. Or
I'm gonna
fist
go
bump. Did I say punch? I meant fist bump.
I like the idea that you just punch me in the leg instead.
All right. So,
I'll go after Ava.
Venlin, you're going to go join Ava. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's gonna. It's like, yeah, that'll be like your whole movement to get there.
Yeah, I got 35.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. Just
Okay.
yeah, because they're within range, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or I mean, do you still have a main action? Let me see how far this guy is. 5, 10.
Yeah,
Actually, the other person who's running is only like 20 feet from you. So I don't know if you've got range stuff. Like they're too far for melee, but
I'm a bard. I have spells. I forgot. I've never played a bard. Hi. Let's see. I'm just gonna kind of glare off and be like, that wasn't a really cool thing to do. You shouldn't have done that. That was messed up, man. And I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers.
Ooh. That's a save for
That is
for the person, right?
yeah, it's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save if I'm on the wrong NPC page.
Get him.
Yeah, wisdom save.
Uncool thing.
Oh, that is a 9.
That is a failure.
9.
Let's see. 9. So it takes 3d6 psychic.
Ooh.
And then also other things, TM. Let's see. 6, 7, so that's 12 damage.
Okay.
And it has to immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
Well, it's a good day for that person in a way. All right, so they move 30 feet through the alleyway. And this street is actually kind of on like the edge of the city. So there's like a wall and like, ooh, and then I hit stuff on my desk. So there's like a wall, maybe another like 40 feet past the building. So this guy is now like 15 feet away from that wall.
Okay.
Okay, 50 feet from the wall. Let me just write that because my graph is nonsense. All right, anything else for you?
No, I'm good.
All right, and now it is actually that person's turn. So he is going to use his whole movement to just book it. He's going to use his action and movement to like spin around that corner and move on out of sight from where you are currently standing in the alleyway. That's that guy's turn. And then it is Xana. You are up.
So there are still cultists that are attacking, presumably Primrose, right?
Inside, yeah, you still hear the sounds of combat. And you've been told that there are some drakes around.
Okay, which are they about 35 feet away from me, would you say?
The drakes or the bakery?
That are attacking.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I would say that with your movements, you could get to just inside the doorway of the bakery. But like right now, you don't know where people are inside of it. So you could use like your full movement to get like 5 feet into the bakery.
Got it. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do that. Get in, assess the situation. What do I see?
Okay, so you get in there.
My warhammer is drawn.
Warhammer is drawn.
Yes.
And you see sort of catty corner, and across the way you see a small halfling with blonde hair tied up in a like very ornate braided bun, and tan skin and freckles, and she's wearing a bright yellow dress, and she's got a like lightning wreathed mace out, which you would recognize as a mace of destruction.
Nice.
And she has a shield bearing the symbol of the Changebringer on one arm. and she's looking over at right near you, actually, very furiously. And as you turn to your left, you see, like, in the wall, like right between the doorway and the big gape, where it looks like those people had been thrown through the wall. You see a rather beaten and bloodied person wearing a dark cloak, rough, gross studded leather armor, and just like this rusty, gross kind of like axe. And you gather this is a bad guy.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to Primrose and be like, "Is this guy bothering you?" And then without waiting for an answer, I would like to go into a frenzied rage and just down on him with my hammer of warning.
Excellent. Do it up.
So I get to make 3 attacks.
Excellent.
A dirty 20, a 13, and an 8. Oh.
2 will hit, actually. The 13 just hits.
Okay. So that's gonna be, what do I add for damage? Ooh, 14 points of bludgeoning damage from the Warhammer.
13 points.
14, 1
14.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else?
Sorry, that should be 16 damage. 16. I forgot to add my rage damage. I was like, that seemed kind of, I think that's it. Rage is a bonus.
Yeah.
Did what I wanted to do.
Excellent. Okay, and now we actually have the Drakes going because they rolled a natural 1 for their initiative.
I was the worst.
Just as well.
As I like my enemies to roll.
Right? Just as well, though, because I mean, like, y'all already know that they're there. So, where did my handy little thing with their stuff on it go? Sorry, I lost my tons of windows. Okay. So the one nearest to Quinn is going to snarl at you after all that damage you dealt to it and lash out with its jaws, which you can just smell this like acrid kind of burning, like it singes like the back of your nostrils and sinuses as you get like a whiff of this thing's breath. And it makes its attack. That is 14 to hit, which I believe misses.
Misses.
Okay, so that is Drake number 1. Drake number 2 is going to jump off of the roof top next to the bakery where both Ven and Ava are standing. And it's going to take a snap at Ava. That's almost certainly going to miss. Yeah, that's just an 11 to hit Ava.
Sorry, that's me. 11 misses me. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's been a while. So, all right, and then Drake 3 is going to jump off of the roof on the other side of the bakery. And it just sort of like plops down. Ava, you're able to see that one land, and 5, 10, 15, 20. It is able to make its way over to you, and that one is actually also going to take a strike at Ava, who is closer to it.
Get me.
Oh, that one's going to miss again. That is only an 8 to hit with its bite. Okay, so that is the Drake's turn, and we are back to the top of the round with Ava.
So the one that my illustrious companion helped flee, do I think maybe I might be able to climb up onto a building and get a shot at it with my longbow?
Yeah, you think you could probably see over the wall. You're not sure how far they've gotten at this point, so you're not sure like what sort of angle of view you would get. But
I mean,
the wall's about the same level
try.
as like the top of the roof.
All right. I guess I will provoke opportunity attack and climb up, an awning or something.
Yes. So opportunity attack. Ooh, that's a miss. That's a 16 to hit?
That exactly hit me.
Ah! Okay, so that is going to be That is going to be 3 piercing damage, but I actually need you to make a con save.
Ooh. Poisony beasties. Okay, that's not horrid. 13?
That'll make it. It's not a very high save. Yeah, all right. So you feel this poison start to seep into the arm that you get up in the way of the teeth. And you start to feel sick for a moment, but you kind of, brace yourself, take a deep breath, and manage to shake off any ill effects.
I glare at it and I say, I'll be back for you.
Do you say this in common or?
I know Draconic.
Draconic.
I'll say it in Draconic.
It gives you a look and totally understood. Got the gist at least.
All right. So once I'm up there, am I able to see my quarry?
I'd say yeah. With your passive is 16, right? Yeah, you can definitely see. Your query is making their way into the Bramblewood. I think it's the Bramblewood right up against it. The forest at like the base
Right.
of the mountains. So you
Right,
are able to try to get a shot off before they make it into the trees.
I'm going to drop the axes on the ground. As I unsling my bow, I look up at Mount Gat Shadow overshadowing the city.
Yes.
And I bring it around. And I'm going to shoot it at this fleeing quarry twice.
Nice. Do it up.
Get him! Okay, that lowest is a 21.
Lowest is a 21. Yeah, they will both hit. Man, what freaking dice are you using, buddy?
I mean, last time I rolled a couple 8s. Like, that's not amazing.
Oh, that's true.
Let's get some dams. Ooh, but the numbers keep being good. That'll be a total of 30 piercing damage.
Whoa, 30 piercing damage. Let's see. This person was hurt already. They were, yeah. So with that, you watch as this figure is almost just making it out to the woods, and just like, some sad moment at like the Hunger Games cornucopia, they just drop and lie unmoving in the grass just outside the walled city of Westruun. Actually, now that you are up on the roof and you're taking a look, you see another sort of crash through the wall of the city. And looking at it, you're sort of do a double take, because it almost looks like maybe somebody burst through it like Kool-Aid Man style. Like there's almost a very vague like humanoid silhouette.
Grog? And I will glare back at that Drake, and I will move my hunter's mark to it.
Ooh, to the Drake.
Yeah.
Back.
The one that hurt me, not the other one.
The one that hit you? Okay.
Yeah.
Easy to do. All right, so that is Ava's turn. Taliesin, you are up.
Or am I by the bakery, or do I see?
You're still across the way because you had wanted to move back, but you are able to see both of the drakes that are on the floor now and are on like either side of your club friends.
Okay, about how far am I away from them?
You're like 60 feet.
Okay, I'll take out my pistol and channel Percival Frederickstein Van Musso Lolo the Third and take a shot.
Yeah, go for it. These are the drakes.
Oh, I rolled a 24.
24, yeah, that'll hit. Roll damage.
All right, that's a D10. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay, that's a D10 plus 2. 10 points.
10 points. Okay, that Drake is still up, but it definitely hisses most unhappily, turning its elongated dragon head at you, and you just see this like long forked tail pretty much stick out at you. All right, anything else for your turn?
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry, what was that number again? I
10
processed
points.
it, but I didn't write it.
10 points.
All right, thank you. All right, and Quinn, you and Keeper are up next.
Okay. How far away was the person who charged through the city walls?
You see no sign of anybody who has done that.
I mean, for Keeper, because Keeper's got like.
Oh, Keeper.
Yeah.
Keeper would make a fresh perception check because now you're specifically looking for something else and not just pursuing the immediate area.
Okay. 16.
16. Okay, so Keeper lowers down a little bit closer to the forest to try to get a look. It's hard to tell because the Bramblewood is a really, really dense forest. Everything is just very closely packed. It's got, very dark, dark trees, dark leaves and everything. But as Keeper takes a look, he is able to see just sort of what looks like a pretty straight line of like just trampled earth and shrubbery that seems to be heading northwards towards the mountain of Gat Shadow. But he's not able to pick up any movement or details beyond that. But he could tell that it looks like there's going to be a pretty easy trail to follow if he wanted to go that way.
Okay. Well, Quinn's still got this Drake in front of him. So
Yes.
yes, I think that's probably the more pertinent thing right now. So he's going to attack this Drake again.
Yeah, go for it.
With his rapier, and his Rite of the Frozen is still breaking and scattering down the blade in like big red spikes. That is a 25.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
D8. That's an 11 piercing damage.
11 piercing. Yeah, you are able to run this Drake through. Your rapier actually gets it like right into the mouth and out through the back of its head, and this thing just drops. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Where is the next closest?
You look around and you see down on the ground and just across the street there are two drakes framing Venlin and Ava.
Okay. I'm gonna be cocky. Can I like try and do like a cool flip off the top of this building and land it?
Make an acrobatics check. You can certainly try.
Here we go. Oh, that's a 21.
Oh yeah. So you totally managed to do it. You've definitely since your accident, you've done actually like a lot of practice of just all kinds of situations that you might need to be in with your new prosthetic, and you are able to just land like 3-point superhero style in the soil, just like about 10 feet away from this Drake.
Nice. Yeah. I think that might be all my movement. So yeah.
All right.
I'll leave that for now.
Awesome. And then inside the bakery, Xana is able to see Primrose hold up one hand, and you hear once again the loud, just tinkling of very cheerful sounding bells. And this time you watch as the person clamps his hands to his ears and just sort of yells in pain. And you actually see like some blood kind of trickle out through his fingers as he is injured. Oh, all right, and that guy also drops. Nice. He collapses, and as he falls, Primrose just sort of looks over at you, Xana, and goes, "Oh, hi!
You see, cinnamon rolls bite back."
Yeah. And she just kind of like gives you a big smile, and she'll use her little halfling movement to get over to the door, so she is now next to you, Xana. And that is her turn. Venlin, you are up.
Yes, hello. I believe there is a Drake very close to my face.
There is indeed.
I would like to stab it.
You may do so. I would recommend that.
That is a natural 20 to stab it.
Let's see. Actually,
Murder.
Yeah, roll damage. I don't think you really need to, but do it up.
All right. What is it? D8, D8, D8. Where are my D8s? They're all in front of my face. That's an 8. So 12 damage. Just kind of
12 damage. Oh, okay, so close. This one is you can tell it is very, very hurt. It sort of is down on like 3 of its 4 legs. And it is not a happy looking Drake, and it just sort of snarls like half-heartedly at you in response.
Oh boy. Just gonna hold up my awkwardly sized shield and just be ready.
All right, go for it. Next up we've got okay, that guy is dead. Xana, you're next.
Are there still cultists or like antagonists, I guess, in the bakery with me and Primrose?
You do not see anybody living. Now that actually you look around, you see a very similar Kool-Aid man looking hole in the back of the bakery wall.
That's kind of weird. I'm gonna walk over there and investigate the Kool-Aid man hole.
Sure. You could roll an investigation check.
Okay. Let's see. Normally I'm not amazing at investigating, but I do have some inspiration. So, wow. Okay. It's a 23.
Oh.
Thanks for that.
All right. Well, as somebody, as a very active member of the Tal'Dorei chapter of the Exandria Vox Mockina fan club, yeah, you have spent so much of your life just listening to and reading tales of the amazing size and just feats of strength that one Grog Strongjaw is capable of performing. And you also know that he is very fond of hanging out at the, Taker's Bake when he is in his hometown of Westruun. So you're putting two to two together, and you're looking at this big old thing. You're looking at like a piece of art that somebody has drawn of a very like vulgar sketch of like the whole party that has been framed and hung up in the thing, and you look at the hulking shape of Grog, and you look at the big hole, and you look at the picture, and you look at the hole, and you're I think Grog did this.
You like take it off the wall and you're comparing it.
Math checks out.
Right?
Here or how exactly? And I just look over to Primrose and I'm like pointing towards the hole in the wall.
Oh, yeah, Primrose looks over. She goes, oh, yeah, I mean, well, we were here waiting for y'all, and, these, we had, like, a bunch of customers has been pretty busy, and somebody, if you're gonna try to pick the pocket of a Goliath, I mean, you don't want to get caught, I'll tell you that's for sure. And she just sort of points to, like, the 2 bodies. But it seemed like they were after something really specific, because he got really mad when they took it, and he just like fled off, and Pike went after him. She told me to keep an eye on this place, so I'm so glad you guys showed up, because I mean that was a lot.
Yeah, I can't believe we missed them. Oh, we came all this way and
oh well, I mean, I'm sure they'll be back once they catch whoever took that thing. Is there still stuff going on out there? And Xana, that would be your turn. Now there are still 2 Drakes up who are just going to make their attacks on Ava and Ven. That is going to miss.
So they're flying up on. So they're flying up on top of the building after me.
Wait, you're on the floor. I'm sorry, I moved the wrong taggies.
Ah, taggies.
So it's gonna be Ven, but I think they both missed. Nothing was above an 11. No? Okay. Awesome. So that is the Drakes, and we're back to the top with Ava now.
All right, Ava's gonna pick up those axes and run and jump off at the one that I have marked.
Amazing. All right, do your attack.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. My dice are being weird today. That was 3 8s on 3 d20s.
Whoa.
So that's 16 for 3 attacks.
Well, all 3 will make it, but that is very strange.
What?
That's neat.
Interesting. All right, so 66 because Hunter's Mark is good.
Hunter's Mark.
That'll be 35 slashing damage as I kind of jump and spin and go do like the swing, spin all the way around, swing, sideways,
Oh,
barreling through the air.
yeah. You like cleave the head right off of that Drake. Like it just flomp and like flops down onto the ground with a wet, sickening kind of sound.
I turn to the other Drake and I say in Draconic, "Do you want to follow suit?"
It is that Drake is very, very badly hurt, and it just kind of hisses at you spitefully.
Bad life choices.
Anything else, Ava?
Nope, that's all.
That's all. Taliesin, you're up. There is still one Drake.
All right, I'll take a shot at it.
Yeah, do it up.
Let's see. Oh, I rolled a natural one.
So you go. Actually, does that jam your gun or something?
Oh, that's right.
Oof.
Is that? I believe that's a misfire, or is that just for certain guns? I think it might depend on which one you were using and what you took.
Oh, I would say using the pepper box. I'd say that's a misfire.
Misfire. All right. So I believe you roll a misfire damage. Is that true? I've never played a gunslinger, so I'm not familiar with the class.
Whenever you make it's supposed equal to the misfire score. The misfire is. Oh, I just gotta repair it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna have to make a tinkering check to repair it. Okay. But I believe that is your turn. Is there a bonus action, movement, or anything you want to do?
I'll move back. I'd say about 10 feet.
Okay.
If you have another gun, you could pull it out and take your second shot. You have extra attack,
right.
I believe.
I'll do that. I'll take out my pistol.
Okay, cool. Make it a second attack.
All right. 8.
8's it'll miss. You go and you hit just kind of like the bullet skims through like the corner of the building. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to enter a building that might have any innocent civilians hiding in it.
Okay, I'll take a look around and see if there's anyone that's in danger, if the Drake's anyone attacking anybody else.
Okay, you take a look. What's your passive? Okay, your passive is like 12. Yeah, so you're easy to just sort of take a quick look around. You see the street is pretty much empty now, except for you guys. The bodies of these dead people and the bodies of these dead Drakes. People have pretty much fled and left the street. Nobody really wanted to get all up in this.
All right, I'll just conjure another rock and throw it at the Drake again, just annoy it again.
All right, so you just sort of like it like bonks off like the side of the Drake, and the Drake kind of like like shuffles a bit to the side because it's very badly hurt, and it's just kind of mean at this point because it's on its last leg, pretty much literally. Next up, we have Quinn and Keeper.
Okay, I'm gonna call Keeper back, just to sort of stay in the air above, just sort of hovering and circling over where I am. And I am then going to attack this last Drake.
All right, make your attack.
That is a 23.
23 will hit.
That is 10. Sorry.
Yeah,
piercing damage.
Yeah, you run this Drake through, get it right through the eye. It's a clean, quick kill on this beast that is already, been pretty badly damaged by your compatriots. And with the fall of this last Drake, we will come out of initiative. And before we continue, I think we're gonna go to a quick break, so everybody can stretch, hydrate real quick, and all that good stuff. So we will be back shortly with the second half of Vox Mockina's adventure to save Westruun.
Woo!
Yay! Woo! everybody. Thank you so much for bearing with us while we took a quick break. I hope everybody is feeling nice and refreshed. I want to thank everybody again for coming to hang out while we play Vox Machina and try to raise some money for the Able Gamers Foundation. So if you're, new, just tuning in, if you are interested, we are trying to raise funds for the Able Gamers Foundation, which is a nonprofit that helps disabled gamers to acquire accessible gaming equipment. So if you're interested in donating, there is a donation panel down below in the information section, and there are also links coming up throughout the chat posted by Moobot, which you can click to donate through there. All right, so now we are going to move into the second half of our Vox Machina adventure. When we left off, the Vox Machina fan club of Taldore had just dispatched a bunch of black dragon-looking ambush drakes that seem to have had a attack or a fight outside of the Taker's Bakery in Westruun. And they have met their halfling club president, Primrose, a cleric of the Changebringer. And she has informed everybody, or at this point she has informed Xana, that somebody seems to have tried to pickpocket one Grog Strongjaw while in the bakery. He then tore off after some other people in the bakery tried to help stop any pursuit from the thief in a clearly coordinated effort. Grog and Pike ran off, Grog Kool-Aid manning his way through several walls of the city of Westruun to tear through the Bramblewood, making their way towards Gat's Shadow. And now we come to our party in the bakery immediately after combat. What would y'all like to do? We have Xana in the bakery with Primrose.
I'll just peep my head outside of the bakery and be like, hey guys, good news is I found the club president. Bad news is we lost Pike and Grog. Wanna come discuss?
Hey y'all, how are you doing after the fight?
Oh, good. Ava will kind of sullenly climb back up the building to grab her bow, put it back on her back, and climb back down into towards the bakery.
Now that you mention it, I actually am a little bit hungry. Would you mind if I just left some change on the counter? And then she's gesturing towards the bake case.
And Primrose looks over and goes, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, you guys just did so much to help us out. So actually, if anybody is hungry, feel free to help yourselves. Just if you ever see her, don't tell Vex that I let you do that. She doesn't like it." And she'll gesture and open up the case. So if anybody likes, you may enjoy some absolutely delicious, mostly delicious, depends on who baked which things. Pike was working today, actually, so things are pretty good. And you are able to enjoy some pastries as Prim just sort of starts sweeping up all of this broken stuff, and she just gestures in frustration at the walls, and it's just I can't believe he did that. That was pretty extreme even for him. But
I look around at all the different pastries. We didn't have these in Terra.
Oh no, well then you should try some of this one and some of this one, and this kind of plump little halfling just starts pulling all these pastries out. And it's oh, this is one of my favorites, and you piles up a thing, and she goes, oh, actually I should probably go and let somebody know that they ran off like that. I don't have any spells that would let me reach out to the rest of Vox Machina, because I'm allowed to do that in an emergency. She looks very proud and pleased with herself. She's but I didn't think we were going to need anything like that on the day of a festival. Oh, I don't know. I guess can you maybe go and follow, make sure everything's going to be okay?
On the upside, it'll be really easy to track him.
Oh yeah, he's not really one for hiding his trail. And she just kind of like looks through the like straight beeline door, where like everything lines up pretty perfectly, and just the line of like Goliath silhouettes. She goes, I'm gonna go make my way over to the Temple of the Everlight. They've always got somebody there who's able to, reach out to the others, and I'll let them know what's going on. But you guys should probably go and make sure everything's gonna be okay, because if any more of these things are coming towards the city, we gotta know.
Yeah, that would be really bad. But also, like, do you know, has like Scanlan been in the city lately? Because I heard that, like, Scanlan's really great to meet live. So like, I don't know if you could, like, has Scanlan been around?
Oh man, he's a funny guy, all right. He hasn't been around today. He's actually over in Whitestone right now. He was bringing the kids over that way to hang out with the Derolos over there. So he's not here right now, but I mean, I'm gonna be trying to send a message to him at least, because he's definitely gonna want to know that Pike like went chasing after these people.
Yeah.
in Prague, so
He'll definitely want to know that something happened to Pike.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hope that nothing too bad happened to Pike. Yeah, she'll probably come back fine. She'll be fine.
She's a very powerful cleric, so I'm sure it'll be totally fine. But that was a lot of people, and I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen any kind of activity like this for a long time. I mean, I wasn't really around too much for 20 years ago. I mean, I was, but I was like really, really young. But I mean, we haven't seen any any people wearing like anything like that. She gestures over to the guy on the floor, who, now that she points it out, you see there was actually like a dragon mask, like kind of tied to his belt that was concealed by a cloak.
Is it like the dragon masks that the kids were wearing, or is it like
No.
It's like a legit mask?
This is like a legit,
not an
mask.
Arts and crafts kind of thing.
Yeah, not like a cartoonish, like the ones that the kids were wearing are like, the like sort of like caricature, like celebrity masks kids can wear, like at home.
I was imagining like a paper plate kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like the kids were wearing stuff that's meant to like mock Umbrasil.
Got it. Okay.
This guy's like black mask is like polished wood and is clearly meant as like something nice.
I see. Serious biz.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's mentioned like, oh, I hope like nothing happened to Pike and Grog, or nothing bad happened to them, like you see like Quinn is sort of like leaning on the counter, like eating bits of pastry, and then like through an open mouth he's like, Kiefer, don't say that about people, that's not nice. Like, but nobody else knows what Kiefer said. Like how people like blame their dogs for like saying nasty things about people like that.
So Ava, kind of standing by the Kool-Aid Man opening, looking up at the mountain, says, "The keeper has a point. We might be misplaced not to worry about them too much. The darkness of the Hope Devourer stirs once more."
And Quinn just looks at you. He's like, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine.
Oh, Ava, you can track things, right?
Yeah.
Any chance that you could see your way towards blazing a trail for us to go out and find our lost members of Vox Mockina?
I believe I will be successful in tracking him, as she gestures towards the just repetitive holes in structures to the outskirts of town.
And then Xana, like, she's noticing them for the first time. She's like, Rangers are so smart.
Amazing. Okay, so you guys can, yes?
While everyone's talking, I'm sitting by frantically trying to fix my gun.
Okay, go ahead and
I'll write that.
It is a tinkerer's check. How do you generate the DC? Like, do you know what it is?
8 plus the misfire score, which is 2, so 10.
Okay, so go ahead and make your tinkerer's check.
Is there any way as a gnome I could use my like gnome artificeriness to do like the help action on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say as a gnome experience with some tinkering, you can definitely help, and you can make the roll at advantage.
Or do I make the roll? Or?
Yeah, you would roll twice and take the higher die.
Okay. 15.
15? Okay, so the DC was 10, so yeah, you're able to fix your gun. Pepperbox is locked and ready to go.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Do all of the bodies have those like dragon masks on them if you poke around? Or is it just the one?
Yeah, as you go to look around, all but the one that Ava like sniped from the rooftop as he fled, you get to him because you're making your way out that way anyway. And he's actually not wearing any armor. Taking a look, it's easy to tell that this is somebody who's more used to casting rather than physical combat. And as you examine the body, he's actually got, rather than a mask, he's got like a dragon tattoo that's like on the side of his neck. Which was concealed by like the cloak and the hood being like, pulled up around it.
I'm gonna grab one of the masks if I can.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Just in case, I heard when I was in school, when I was at Bard school, disguises can be important or whatever, so maybe we should like take these. As I take one.
You take your disguise. My mask is the night.
But it's daytime.
It is currently like noon.
As everyone's saying like Ava should go and track the two Vox Machina members. Quinn will say, I'll come with you. Normally I try and lend Keeper to you, but I can guarantee if you don't listen to me, he won't listen to you.
I would actually suggest that we all make haste towards the mountain.
Yes, unless there's any. Go ahead.
As I drop my pen on my keyboard and it rattles.
Oh. It's okay. It was like I don't know.
You say it's a good idea if we all go to the mountain, and then like Quinn's gonna start packing as many pastries as possible. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna need to bribe Keeper so much. He's like scraping them into a pocket to put on his belt.
Ava looks.
Idea.
Yeah, Ava looks at the bird and goes, you've really got this whole thing figured out, don't you?
Keeper just kind of actually winks at you with like one eye.
Xana's also going to pack up some pastries for the road just in case.
Yep.
When Keeper gives that wink, like Quinn's not even looking at Keeper, but knows like immediately that Keeper's being like, really mean.
You can tell.
And just like over his shoulder, like while he's packing pastries, he's like, don't you start now. Like, he's having an argument with this raven.
Your sass alarm went off. Okay, so is there anything that anybody else would like to do before you begin to pursue this trail to Gat Shadow?
Thank you for helping me with my gun. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it's no problem. I don't really know how it works, but I know gears. And I know tinkering. So I'm happy to help out. Thank you for the pastries, Primrose. You're the best.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for, trying to help out with all this stuff. I'm gonna go make my way over to the Emperor Light Temple as quick as I can. I'm sure somebody there will be able to help out.
Yeah, we gotta get Scanlan here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Good luck and, Changebringer be with you. And she goes flouncing off. Towards
Quick, while she's gone, take the rest of the pastries.
Oh, that would be stealing. She's already been really nice.
Keeper immediately just starts like eating as many pastries as possible.
I think we got enough.
Yeah, I don't want to slow myself down, while I'm fighting. I really need to eat afterwards.
That's a very practical reasoning. Did we want to ascend the mountain stealthily, or just run up?
Are we making our way downtown?
Yeah.
I can try to be quiet.
Well, I could make us leave no trace of our passage, which would greatly improve our stealth numbers.
Actually, I think I can do that as well.
Ooh.
Does that work on just me, or does that work on everybody?
It will specify, but I do believe that for the Genasi trade, it's the standard spell, which is
Okay.
creatures
to
in your
10,
range.
yeah.
I forgot Earth Ganassi got Pass Without Trace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Twilla has it in Heroes Without Limits.
Why don't you do it? Because I'm still concentrating on Hunter's Mark.
It's a good idea.
All right, I'll cast Pass Through Stone, which is a Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. And that gives us plus 10 to stealth, correct?
To stealth, yes. Ava, who are you Hunter's marking still? Because everybody died. who
So
were fighting.
yeah, when you Hunter's Mark someone and then they die, you don't have to bonus action reassign the mark
You're just
immediately. You
keeping
can
it
hold
up.
on to it.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. I gotcha. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, did I like totally forget about somebody? Did somebody get away? Shit.
Do I actually need to roll survival to track Grog?
I mean, no, if you want to just to roll some dice, you can, but like,
I'll
you're
just-
a 5th level Gloomstalker. This is not a trail he was trying to hide.
Okay, yeah, I'll just roll stealth.
Okay, so yeah, roll stealth. Anybody who would like to be sneaking can roll stealth as you guys make your way through here. And you climb your way steadily through the dark bramblewood, making your way up to the dark, storm-covered peak of Gat Shadow Mountain. And what do y'all got?
25.
26.
Am I able to use my fortune teller reroll thing, or is that only before?
I believe that's
remember
actually
how that works.
specifically on a creature.
Oh.
But for sake of one shot, I'd say you can use it on like a roll too, like you would the standard force.
Does someone need a
I think it says any rule you can see.
Great. I'll do that. I'll use my fortune roll.
Like, I don't care. That's more fun.
'Cause,
Yeah, so you could do that.
my favorite little strawberry die hates me today for some reason. What did I do to deserve this?
Oh, okay. Wait. So what did everybody roll again?
19.
25.
25,
After the plus 10, I got a 36.
36,
19.
19. Okay.
27.
27. And Mustang, what'd you get? Oh no, did we lose them?
Oh no.
Oh no!
No, Sarah. I know sometimes their internet is a little wonky, so hopefully they will be right back. In the meantime, I'll assume with a pass on a trace, a dex build.
Oh,
Oh, are you back?
back.
Mustang?
Ayo.
Oh no.
Quinn. Quinn!
And
Quinn!
Keeper has taken over.
Keeper has taken over. No.
Keeper wanted more pastry.
Oh no, the things have shifted.
Hey, Mustang.
Are you back yet?
Let's get take getting used to.
Oh no. Okay. For now, at least I'll say Quinn is able to hide along with everybody.
Probably,
Let's see. Whoever had the 19 actually just squeaked by as you guys make your way. Anybody who wants to make a perception check certainly may.
Oh.
Sure.
As you're looking around, seeing if anybody is
Why not?
watching or following.
I'm looking for Grog.
Yeah. I'll make a
16.
perception check. Ooh.
16
6.
to look for Grog.
6.
Oh, I also forgot to mention that my cloak gives anyone looking for me disadvantage on perception, just because
Oh.
36
course.
wasn't high enough.
That is good to know. It didn't matter in this case, but still.
That's not a great perception. I mean, it's passive, 16.
16.
I got the 19.
19. Okay, so the 19 actually is able, if you're looking around, you look up and you see actually like a shape flying around high in the sky. And I'm sorry, I just heard a voice. I wasn't looking at the speaker. Who's got the 19?
It's me.
Okay. You're a lore bard, right? I'd say as you're looking around, especially as
I'm
somebody-
Valor. I'm Valor.
Oh, Valor. Well, somebody who studied Scanlan actually would be familiar with Vox Mockina's exploits and pretty much anything that they've come into contact with.
Sure.
And just given your location and their own history, you would definitely recognize that that is a wyvern or a wyvern, however you want to say it. So you see that one of those is doing kind of slow, lazy loops and then flies off back towards the peak, seemingly at no great hurry.
Hey guys, there are wyverns around, or at least one. Just so you know, that's the thing.
Would I know this area very well since we're in the mountains?
Oh, yeah, shit. Mountain is my favorite terrain.
Well, dude. Yeah, I mean, you've definitely got like no problem already, like kind of getting there. So I'd say between the Earth Genasi and the Ranger with a mountain favorite enemy, you guys are able to actually make very good time, even moving stealthily. A trip up the mountain that would normally take like, a hefty number of hours, you're able to like almost like, let's just say have, because I'm bad at math and distance.
I like
very good time.
Coast along on the coattails of someone so that my short little self can keep up.
Yeah, it's fine. You're able, with the help of your teammates to keep pace. Poor Mustangs had to leave. They'll be right back. Hopefully.
And back they are.
Hey.
Hear us?
Yeah, I'm back.
Huzzah! Sorry. No worries.
You are so sneaky. I thought you were gone forever.
You flew away.
Okay. So you guys make your way up to Get Shadow. You climb your way pretty high up towards the top, not like fully to the peak, but really quite up there. Following this trail of destruction that Grog has left. At times you're able to see like little gnomish feet, deep set from heavy armor trotting along, and then sometimes they disappear. You gather that Pike may or may not be being periodically like Yoda'd by Grog to some effect. So you guys make your way up, and you find this sort of flat plateau that you're level on, and you see a very small, what looks like cave opening, and it's small enough where like pretty much only Zana would be able to get through it standing. Anybody else would have to crawl. And you see a bunch of deep grooves in like the sort of hard packed stone and earth cliff face that goes up to a ledge a little higher up.
Do we see like a cave in front of us?
Yes, it's like a small like cave or tunnel entrance. It's about like just wide enough for like one person to fit single file. But anybody who's a medium creature or larger would need to crawl to get through.
I can test if anything is in it before we go in.
You also see deep grooves like going up the cliff face to a ledge next to it. The trail that Grog had left seems to stop at about here.
The deep grooves. So speaking of favorite terrain, my favorite enemy is dragon. Do they seem draconic in nature?
Make
Or
a
grogic in nature?
I'd say they definitely they don't look draconic. They don't look like claws.
Okay.
Is that like a rock climbing wall kind of thing? I could climb up there pretty easily and see if there's anybody up on that ledge.
It pretty much is a rock climbing wall thing now.
All right. Make that happen.
Yeah, make an athletics check, but I'd say advantage because you have the grooves, but they're a little oddly spaced for a gnome.
Okay, so would I use advantage then or no?
Yeah, you can still get advantage.
Okay. 15.
15, yeah, you're actually able to get up there. You make it on up, and you get to a much wider cave opening. You see it's got actually like sort of carved stone archway around the sides. Most of it is just very weathered and worn. There's like two sort of patches of like what looks like maybe newer rocks. Maybe it was fixed recently. And you see just like a long, deep tunnel going inside more.
Does the entrance to this area of the cave, does it look like it's big enough that a Goliath could fit through it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's a big cavernous cave.
Yeah, this is a lot bigger.
So she'll shout down to the rest of the group, I think maybe the path continues up here. There's a big cave. You want to come up?
I'm gonna cast message to Zana and just be like, I'm pretty sure that's where like the wyvern went in. So that's a thing.
You mean like a nest or something like that?
Maybe. I don't know. I just saw one, right? I just saw one.
Yeah, I just saw one.
Okay. And it went like back in that general direction.
Yeah, it went like back towards the mountain.
Okay. So it like could be in there. I don't know.
Well, I've never fought one of those before, but I feel like I could take it.
Why not?
Yeah.
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 Do you want me to throw anything into the cave to see if we hear a noise or if anything moves?
That sounds like it's a sensible plan. So probably yes.
Why don't we all get up there to start, and then
think of
Yeah.
those things.
All right.
rabble rouse?
All right, so I can like tie a rope, like anchor a rope, and have people like climb up if they need help.
Yeah, that'll be much easier for everybody. Between the rope and the weirdly spaced holes, everybody I'll say is just able to get on up there. So you make it up to the top. Everybody sees, the same like big, wide, roughly hewn, yet finished. It's got the like stone archway set in. Anybody want to do anything? You guys head in? Are you throwing a rock in? Are you looking around? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I can throw a rock in. I'll conjure a rock, open my palm up. A small rock appears about the size of a small coin. Then I'll throw it into the cave as far as I can.
Okay. You throw the rock in and wait for a moment. Nothing really happens. Or actually, you know what? Roll a perception check. Anybody who wants to.
I will know what I was going to do. Well, I rolled another natural 20.
Another natural 20. Dang. All right.
Get
Anybody
there.
else get like over 20, I'll say?
22 total.
Okay, 22 total. Okay, so Taliesin, you listen in after you throw the rock, and you don't hear any response to the rock, but your keen ears, you've grown up in Terra and out in the wild, so you're used to just like, kind of always listening to danger and sounds. You hear yelling, you hear clangs echoing up through the cavern. As you listen, yeah, there's definitely a fight happening.
So are these mountains still the Cliff Keep mountains?
You are on Gat Shadow.
Okay.
Do you relay this information to your party?
Yes. There's I hear fighting in the cave.
Let's make haste then.
You might need our help.
Whoosh.
There's grumbling and there sounds like there's fighting.
Yeah, so the party, Vox Mockina, heads quickly down this cavern where once, years ago, the actual Vox Machina came wandering down this path. As you make your way, everybody begins to see signs of what are definitely traps that have been triggered already. You pass by an already snapped tripwire, and as you look, you see like a bunch of darts stuck to the side of the wall, and there is like one very large swath of just like where no darts fell because they must have hit something else very large that was in the way. That is not still lying on the floor, so it just kept moving whatever it was. You come across a couple of like what looks like a like bunch of like fallen very heavy sharpened rocks that had been set to collapse if somebody stepped on a foot plate that is still pressed down. So you're able to, just keep moving. That trap hasn't reset or anything. And you make your way down the hall. You come across the bodies of two more of these dragon type cultists just collapsed. They are like walking by. You guys can tell they are done. And you make your way into a large opening that opens up into a vast cavern where you hear just the sounds of clashing metal and magic flying. It is made of the same dark gray stone that all of Gat Shadow is made of. You see there it is actually illuminated with torches and some hanging sort of floating drift globes illuminating light spells. The room goes back for about 90 feet. You see that it sort of narrows in the middle, so like the room is almost like a figure eight. Like when you enter, it's very wide, it narrows a little bit and then widens back out again. And what really catches your eye as you enter, however, is a massive skeleton that is taking up a majority of the room. And it looks like it's easy, really, to recognize even people who are not, familiar and have never truly seen one of these creatures. This looks like it's a partially reassembled skeleton of a very, very large dragon. And further back to the room, you see a platform, a raised platform of stone with carved steps where a series of lights are flashing. There is a tiefling with red skin who seems to be doing something at that altar as she is surrounded by a bunch of cultists who seem to be protecting her from something. As you guys enter, you see this tiefling just as she pulls out and lifts up what looks just like some sort of small shiny trinket. And everybody is able to hear just this echoing, enraged boom of, "Hey, that's mine!" And from just behind the skeleton, you see a massive Goliath form, enlarged with his Titan stone knuckles, just like crashing through cultists, trying to get to this table, as the tiefling smiles and plucks something off of it and drops it onto the table. And as this happens, a cloud of billowing smoke forms up from the altar, and in like the blink of an eye, you watch as it flashes with red lights and zips to fill out that massive skeleton on the ground. The tiefling just smiles at Grog just as he makes his way up to the altar, and she smashes something on the ground, and a massive arcane doorway opens up. She waves and steps through it, and Grog simply follows right on through, thundering. There's a brief moment of stunned silence as you hear just sort of this whooshing as the smoke begins to fill up this draconic skeleton, and the cultists just kind of all look around, not expecting this to have escalated so quickly. Like they were just thinking, they're doing their bodyguard duty. They were clearly not expecting that priestess to just vanish and leave them like that. The skeleton, however, is now filled with the smoke that is no longer escaping through the bits of bone, and it seems to just be contained. And you watch as the bones start to twitch. And then you hear a clank, clank, clank as a brilliantly golden figure hops onto the stairs right after Grog going, "Oh, buddy!" And she turns to see the skeleton animating, and you watch as she's sort of looking panicked. And her keen gnomish eyes see in the dark room this group of freshly arrived people. And she looks at you for a moment, and as you wave fondly at her in a very friendly fashion, her, cleric insight sort of shows her that you guys are here to help. So she looks at the gate after Grog, looks at the skeleton, and looks at you, goes, okay. Don't let that thing get to the city, okay? And takes off after Grog as the gate slams shut. And everybody must now roll initiative against an undead, reanimated Umbrasyl.
Oh my god!
Could I would like to. I didn't want to interrupt your big,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
epic monologue.
You can do anything that you wanted to.
Yeah. I'd like to place my hunter's mark on this thing,
Absolutely.
and B, I would like to hide in the shadows.
Go ahead. Roll your stealth.
If I still have the pass without trace, it's a.
Oh, it's just gonna be like ridiculous.
38.
38. Yeah, okay. You're pretty sure you are firmly hidden.
Sorry, 36.
I would reload my guns, make sure they both have full ammunition.
Yes. Any other pre-combat things that y'all would like to do?
Yeah, Quinn's going to, as everyone's sort of like fondly waving at Pike, he doesn't really know who this woman is, and is just like he does that sort of like awkward wave when everybody else is waving, and he's just like, yeah, okay, I don't know who this is, but looks to, because one of his flaws is that he speaks to spirits or sees spirits that nobody else can see. He turns to the one spirit that sort of has always been there since he was in a coma, and it takes on, as we discussed, that form of a giant raven, and he's not entirely sure who it is. But he says, What do you mean you know her? And he goes, I'm supposed to help her. And isn't and you clearly see he's not talking to Keeper, he's talking to somebody he seems to see far off in a corner. He goes, fine, but it better be worth it. And he pulls his rapier out.
Awesome.
And before we start combat, I would like to dig around in my bag.
Okay.
And then find my rust-colored bag of tricks.
Yes.
Reach back in my bag of tricks.
Reach in and see if we get a friend.
Let's see what you get.
We have a brown bear.
Oh, woo! That is so perfect.
I rolled an 8.
You are trinket number 2.
Right?
So we just reach in and pull out a bear.
I'd also would like to summon my earth elemental.
That's amazing. Go for it.
All right, just an action. The diamond, just an action to break it. Then I'll summon an earth elemental right next to me.
Okay. Make sure you've got earth elemental stats up, because I'll need you to, you can control it in combat. That would help me out.
Okay, hold on. I'll use my phone for that then.
I'm going to keep it on your initiative, though, just to make things easy, because we've got half an hour to murder this reanimated dragon and save Westruun. So let's get everybody's initiative, please.
Do you want the brown bear to just go with me?
Yeah, I'll just stick it with you if that's okay.
Yeah, I've got its stats. I've 20.
20 for Venlin and Bear.
Oh, we'll just go together, yeah?
Okay.
Anna rolled a 17.
17 for Xana. Okay.
16.
16 for Tao. Okay. Ava?
Ava got a 25.
25 for Ava. And Quinn.
It was a nat 20, so 24.
24
Nice.
for Quinn and Keeper. That's awesome. Okay, Umbrasil.
I don't like hearing that as the name.
That,
Right?
Nope, it's not. It's an imposter.
All right, so top of the round once again is Ava. You guys are, let's see, we got Umbrasil Hill. You are 5, 10. Yeah, you're like 30 feet away from the head of this dragon.
So in my imagination, you've got the big shadowy dragon with a skeleton on the one side, and this our intrepid band of heroes on the other end, and then just these start to strike across the dragon as Ava, mashed by the shadows because dark vision doesn't even work against her, just
awesome.
striking across, just a few times.
I love it. All right, make your attacks.
Okay, so it does an 18 hit the dragon.
It does not.
Does a 19 hit the dragon?
A 19 just hits.
Okay, then the 20 and the 23 will also hit.
Okay.
Get them sweet dams going. Numbers. That is 46 points of slashing damage.
Ooh, boy. 46?
Yes.
Okay. Okie doke. Anything else?
It just kind of slides down with her axes out next to the dragon, looking up at this embodiment of her favorite enemy.
Yeah.
Just stares.
Excellent. Quinn, you are up next.
Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus action, I think, to take this bottle off my pouch. I'm gonna swiftly uncork it and down it all. And sort of make a noise because it tastes horrible. But I just drank celerity. So that's an extra
Ooh.
+1 to my dexterity.
Oh.
And I am and as like he downs it, he's one still very visible colored red eye. Sort of seems to glow a bit brighter. And I'm going to draw my rapier and I am going to attack.
Yeah, do it up.
Let's give it a go. Yes, that's a nat 20, so 28 to hit.
28? Yeah, that'll hit.
I don't
Okay,
think
so
they'll hit.
that's 2d8. 8. 15 plus, sorry, 15 plus, 14. That is 29 piercing damage.
29 piercing. Nice job. All right, anything else?
No, that's it for my turn. I'm just gonna move Keeper to just follow me, basically.
Okay. All right. And next up we have Xana.
All right, so I'm raising my cog hammer above my head and screaming out a really
Oh no, wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. We have Ven. Ven first.
fine.
I'm so sorry. Ven and Bear.
Finn and Bear. That's how I would like to be referred to from now on. Okay, so it's a big and it's a moving. It's a big and it's a moving, and we do not like these things.
Yeah, it's just kind of twitching and starting to get up, like as your friends already start slicing into it.
Okay, that won't work on it. Fuck it, I have a bear. I'm just gonna.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
Fuck it, I'm a bear. I'm just gonna go in with my rapier and just doesn't. Can I inspire myself? No, I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't hit. I got scared and rolled 18.
Yeah, that will miss.
Yeah, I go no. And then I remember Scanlan would do things. What would Scanlan do that's important and useful? And it would be inspire others sometimes when he's not arguing with them. So I'm gonna give an inspiration die to Quinn.
To Quinn. Okay, so Quinn, you have an inspiration die, which is a D8, I believe.
Yes.
Oh no,
right.
we lost a Mustang again.
I've banished him instead.
Oh, you use banishment instead.
Wrong story.
We'll have to remember. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Are they back?
Oh.
Back.
Sorry.
No worries. You're inspired.
I didn't mean
For what it's worth.
I inspired you so hard you went into another plane.
I'm inspired. Yay.
Just go, hey, Quinn, you're doing really great. You look really cool when you do the thing to it. And then that's it for Ven. But then Bear. Oh well, Ven will turn to Bear, who was Trinket 2.0 clearly. And say, let's fight the thing. And the bear goes, and so the bear goes. I guess.
Yeah.
Multi-attack. I haven't played. I feel like I'm a druid right now. I haven't done this in forever. Let's see. What is it? A plus to hit? Well, that's an 18 plus 6. So
Oh,
that'll
yeah,
hit.
that'll hit. Roll for
Okay.
damage.
Roll
For bear. That's funny heist.
1d8 plus 4. Where's my d8s? In front of my face. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10. So that's 10 damage on the first attack. And then with the claws,
That was how much? I'm so sorry.
that's 10.
10, thank you.
Yes. And then on the claws, it's another 16. It's 22 to hit.
22 to hit. Yeah, that'll hit.
This bear is about to be way more useful than Ven is in a fight. And so that'll be, what is that? That's 2d6. Rawr, bear. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. 13 points of damage from the claws.
Yeah, good job, bear.
Rawr.
Rawr,
Yeah.
rawr.
I don't know why Scanlan would have hated you.
Yeah, right. Scanlan will just be salty. He'd be like, "Why didn't I get the better bear?"
Sorry about it.
All right. Anything else for bear?
Bear would like to contemplate existence, but as a bonus action, if it can.
Yeah. Okay. It's a free action for bear. Xana, you're up.
Well, like, Scanlan summoned trinket number 2. I think he would have resorted to the banishment option, but that's just my guess.
So now I'm taking my warhammer and raising it high above my head, and I'm gonna run, screaming as loudly as I can towards Shadow Umbrasil, and a bonus action go into a frenzied rage. But I like my charger ability, so
Yeah.
I am moving at least 10 feet in the direction of my foe, so I get 3 attacks here, and I get to add +5 to one of those damage rolls.
Nice. Do it up.
Oh no, that's a 9, a 10, and a natural 20. The 20 is the only one that hits. Okay, let's see. 12 plus 9 is 31 points of bludgeoning damage from the cog hammer.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
that's it. Just whack, whack.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Susanna?
Just stay good and mad.
Okay. Now it is Umbrasil's turn. And let's see what ability he gets back this round.
Hopefully not something that
None
mainly
of
is
them.
small gnomes nearby.
Or tall half elves.
Right.
Or bears.
Okay. So Umbrasil gets to these Boney's feet, this body just sort of filled with dark shadow. And as he stands, you see there on like all across the room there are sorted and like organized piles of more bones that haven't yet been assembled. And some of these bones start to suck, get pulled from their piles and clip onto Umbrasil and hook onto his back as these massive bony wings begin to form, which he will start to flap. But before he takes off, he is going to make a bite attack at Ava for
Don't at me.
to hit. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Out.
It's going to be 17 piercing. And multi-attack, and that's going to be a dirty 20 to hit Xana.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And that's, oh, that one's not good. That's 7 piercing.
Did you have that already, or was it just 7 and then I have it?
That's not halved yet.
That's
That
not
was
halved, so
really
it's
bad.
Tis
You
but
get
a flesh wound.
Were you gonna say something, Nat?
I made my concentration check for Hunter's Mark.
Oh, okay, cool. Stay up.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So with that, Umbrasil flaps his mighty shadowy bone wings. and will start to take off to hover in this cavern. The ceilings are like 70 feet wide, high, so they're pretty high. And he's going to start to hover. As he takes off, actually, Xana and Ava would both get attacks of opportunity.
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
All right.
Do Vin and Bear.
Yeah, anybody who's in melee, actually.
Oh yeah.
Vin and Bear.
Oh, thank goodness. It's a 19.
19 hits.
Assuming then
Um,
25 hits.
Yes.
27.
Hits.
Oh, am I in melee?
Numbers.
Tal, no, you are still at the opening. You are
Okay.
next though, so if you want to, just ready what you're gonna do, you're on deck.
So
Okay.
Right.
Xana manages to get 10 bludgeoning damage in with the hammer on Umbrasyl.
Nice.
15
I-
piercing damage.
15. Okay.
I roll nicely for a 16.
Nice.
So Bear got a nat 20 to attack.
Yes.
And Ven got a 6. So Team Bear.
Bear.
Team Bear. So let's do some claw. 2d6. 6. Oh, max damage.
Nice.
12 for 4 for 16.
16. Okay. 16. Okay. All right. And Umbrasyl is going to be floating like 30 feet up, 20 feet up. I'll say 20 feet up for now. Oh no, and then I dropped him. So I don't know where he is anymore. I dropped the post-it I had
Good.
on.
He doesn't exist.
It's okay, I'll use my imagination. Okay, and next it is Talison's turn.
All right, I'll spend a grit point to do a dazzling shot, which gives them disadvantage on their next attack
Awesome.
if they succeed on a con saving throw.
Constitution save, all right. Or you have to make the hit first,
Yep.
right?
Oh, yep, 20 or 22.
22, yeah, that'll hit.
All right, into DC of 13.
13 con save. That will make it with a 16.
All right. Oh, so it's a D10 plus 2. Hold on. Or I'm attacking with the pepper box.
Cool. So you guys just hear this echoing, like thunderous cracking sound as the gunfire just bounces off of the stone in this cavern and echoes.
I rolled a 1, so 3 points.
3 points?
Yep.
Okay. And anything else for your turn? And then you still have your Earth Elemental.
Oh yes, I'll have my Earth Elemental attack.
Okay. Does the Earth Elemental have any kind of like range or ability to get to Umbrasyl, who is now flying 20 feet up?
Oh,
He could move to get into position and hold an attack if you want in case Umbrasyl lands.
great, that's what I'll do.
Cool. All right.
He has a speed of 30 feet.
Speed of 30 feet. Okay, so 5, 10. Yeah, okay, so he's able to get to pretty much like where the rest of the party is right now, at least for the most part.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, I have 2 attacks that I have a second attack.
Okay, go ahead. Do your second attack.
All right.
Do
Oh,
it.
that misses. So 5.
Yeah, that misses.
No, hold on 1 second.
You fire and hit like a stalagmite that's poking up out of the ground instead, and there's just like the shattering of rock.
That'd be a 10, sorry.
A 10 still misses.
Okay.
Okay. So next up is the handful of cultists who got stranded by their priestess. They just kind of look around at everybody and decide to nope the hell out of there. And they're all going to just there's 4 of them left alive. They're just using their motions to double dash through the cavern from where they're standing near the platform. I will say as they run, based on how I'm looking here, both Quinn and Taliesin would be able to make a melee attack of opportunity.
Oh,
against,
nice.
against, let's say, 2 of them pass within your range.
I want to
Alright.
say Quinn already opportunity attacked this round.
Oh, that's right. You guys did.
Yeah, I did.
Would it
Because
be
Umbercell flew. So use
like
your
a
reaction.
melee attack or just a regular attack for me?
It's got to be a melee for an attack of opportunity, unless you've got like a feat or something that lets you do like a spell or a range attack instead.
Let me check.
You would have taken it with your like level 4 option if you had. So if you took an ability score increase or a different feat.
No,
but-
yeah, I know it's not a feat. I know I don't have a feat that lets me do it.
Okay. All right. So unfortunately, you're not able to make an attack of opportunity, but these guys, you're pretty sure are like they are scared. And they're probably not going to be up to anything anytime soon. Not after watching what Grog just did to all of their friends in seconds. So they start making their way past you down the hall, and we are at the top of the round with Ava.
All right. This thing's 20 feet up.
Yeah, 20 feet up right now.
Can I try to scramble up a wall and jump at it and then bury my axes in it and hang?
You could certainly try.
What should I roll to do that, Sam?
Let's see. So you're trying to get up the wall and then do like a cool jump attack. Make an
Yeah.
acrobatics check.
Deal.
That sounds cool. Get that parkour.
19? Parkour. 19?
Parkour. To hit or to no, for your check. Sorry. Yeah, that you're able to do that. You look super cool. You're kind of like bouncing like anime style, like from a wall and a stalagmite to get your way up there, and then you launch over and you may make your attack. It looks really cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to. Wait, this thing's like shadowy. I'm gonna try to get the axes caught on a rib bone and hang there.
Yeah, go for it.
We'll see how well that works. So a 20 and a 23 hit.
Ooh, yeah, those both will hit, absolutely.
And that's going to be 25 slashing damage.
25 slashing. Okay. Okay. You actually see like some of the bone from Umbersill like flakes off, and a little bit of shadow kind of starts to leak out with that bit of damage. He is looking quite rough. Or I mean, not like quite rough, but he's starting to look like, maybe, things maybe aren't holding as well together now as they were before.
Alright, say, yeah, you can't run away from me, Hope Devourer.
Yeah, you tell him. And you wanted to try to like hang on.
Yeah.
Let's say you make the attack. Your axe is sinking. Make just a athletics check to see if you're able to hang on.
Sure. That's an 11.
Yeah, no, 11. You start to sort of slide, and you can either make the choice to like drop your axe or to take it with you, of course. But
I'll fall. I guess you can run away from me. Damn. So I fall 20 feet for 2d6 fall damage?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a 6. And a 2, so 8 fall damage.
Ow.
3.
And I maintain concentration.
Sweet. Okay. And then next up we have Quinn.
Oh, are you rolling at disadvantage, or you made that check, right?
What check?
The Constitution check.
Yes, I did.
No, Umbersill, I mean. But yeah, I remembered you did, so never mind.
What?
It's
fine. I think everybody did everything they were supposed to.
No, for my dazing shot, I thought I didn't know if you made the check or not for my dazing shot.
For that dazing shot? No, he didn't make. Oh, I mean, he did make that check.
Right, that's right.
Okay. How far is this reanimated dragon above my head now?
Umbersill is hovering about 20 feet above.
Okay, I'm gonna use my spider climbing
Yes.
boots, and I'm gonna climb up the wall and attempt to jump onto the back of Umbersill.
That's excellent. Give me just an acrobatics check to make the leap from the
Okay.
wall onto the back of this Dragon.
Yep,
Don't
that
forget
is
inspiration.
that's 22.
22. Yeah, you are able to latch on, like just as Ava sort of like goes, oh, okay, I guess you can run from me, plunk. You see Quinn very gracefully launch himself from off the side of the wall and land on Umbrasyl's head, pretty much, because that's what was closest to you guys. So you land like right on that cool spot on like top of
Okay.
the bony dragon skull.
Okay. Bonus action. I'm gonna cut into that knot of scars a little bit above the just healing cut, and cast my Crimson Right damage. So that takes away 4 HP from me.
Okay.
My AC is 19 now, just a reminder because of my feet.
Right.
And I will attempt to drive my rapier into this head that I'm on.
Here, make your attack.
Okay. Yes. 27.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
And as I'm doing it, like I raise it to jab it in, I glance to the corner of my eye to where that weird spirit who I see who looks like a giant raven, and I'm like, after this, you owe me your name. And that's 12 piercing damage
12 piercing.
and 4 cold damage. Once again, like all that blood goes crackling down the blade, and sort of as I drive in the rapier, like spikes of it shoot out and then jab down after the blade does.
Cool. That's awesome. All right, so you are like hanging out on top of Umbrasyl's bony dragon head. Next up, we have Ven and Bear. It's my new
But
favorite band.
But mostly bear. Let's see.
Mostly Bear.
Okay, so he's 20 feet up. I think. Oh, this is a save. He's probably gonna save. That's okay. So I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna go shit. And that's my action. No. I'm gonna cast blindness deafness.
Ooh, okay, what save is
Try
that?
to blind him. It's a con save.
That is actually probably a fail. Let me just double check. What did I roll? Yeah, that is only a 12.
He is blinded.
Awesome.
Yay! Mark that your
May
con
or may not have blind sight, but
the dragons. So do that, and then Quinn has my inspiration die. Is there anything? How far is the platform from where
the
Quinn and
platform is like on the other side of the room, so you could run under Umbrasyl. It's about 5, 10, 15. It's about 35 feet to like the first stairs of like the platform.
Okay. What is a bear's speed? Okay. Ven and Bear will collectively run to the stair.
Okay, cool.
Because that's my movement. And then Bear will prepare claw.
Awesome. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's Ven and Bear.
All right, Xana, you are up.
All right, Umbrasyl's 20 feet up off the ground.
He is.
A little too far for a warhammer, but not a javelin. So
Yeah!
I'm gonna pull a javelin out of my pack, and I'm gonna fling it at him.
Do it. Make an attack.
Yeah, I don't get a special frenzy thing because it's not melee, but it's okay. It just means that this better hit. Oh,
Oh.
8.
No, that will not hit.
Doesn't even come close.
No, it just kind of like zips through some of the bones, but doesn't seem to damage any of the shadow or anything within.
Wow, farts. Okay. That's my whole turn.
Okay. Next up we have Umbrasyl. Let's see if he gets a new thing back this round. Okay. Some more bones continue to assemble, and you see as they zip through the air, towards the back, the sort of stub of a tail that had been there starts to lengthen and grow.
Uh-oh.
And let's see, that's going to be, he is going to lower himself down a little bit, to whack, Ven, who just went racing under him, with a tail attack. You know, gotta test this new thing out. Oh, that's an 18 plus stuff to hit.
How much stuff?
18 plus 8.
That hits.
Yeah.
I'm a 20.
So, and that's going to be 16 bludgeoning.
50.
16, 1 6.
Hooray!
That was his first attack. He has lowered himself back down, and he's going to take a bite attack at Ava, who slashed him up real good before. That is a 16 to hit. Will that hit? Ava?
16 is exactly my AC.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait a minute. I forgot last minute I changed from a feat to an ASI. I have 17 AC.
Ah, so it misses! This big skeleton head, which actually has Quinn riding the back of it, just sort of snaps down at you. But you're able to just sort of like scoot back just in time. And
as it snaps down, I look up at Quinn and go, "You're pretty cool."
Quinn's got like one hand on his rapier, and like as this head comes down, just goes, and then he goes back up again, and he's gone.
Nice.
Amazing. All right, and that is Umbrasil's turn. He's gonna stay hovering, so he is actually now only 10 feet above people. And Taliesin, you and Earth Elemental are up next.
All right. I'll use a grit point to get advantage on a shot.
Nice, do it up.
On an attack roll. And then I'll have the Earth Elemental attack as well.
Okay, roll your attacks.
Okay. Rolled a 2 and a 19, so 26.
Awesome, the 19 will hit, so you can roll damage for that.
All right.
Hooray for grit.
Let's see, 4.
4 damage?
Yep.
Okay, and the Earth Elemental's attack?
As you're looking for the.
Does the Earth Elemental have anything with a 10-foot or more range? Because the thing is still 10
it has a 10-foot range. Yep.
It does? Okay, cool. So you can go ahead and do that.
All right. 25 to hit.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
All right. Hold on 1 second. I need 2d8.
Roll for dirt damage. That's an official damage type, right?
Sure. Why not?
It is now.
It is now.
Okay, found a d8. 6.
6 damage?
No, 14 damage total.
14. Good job, Earth Elemental. Okay, let me math. All right. Anything else?
It'll like go under the ground so it can't be seen. The Earth Elemental.
Okay, so he's like underneath the dragon. Cool.
Yeah.
Top of the round with Ava.
All right. So it's only 10 feet up now?
Yes.
All right. This shouldn't be too hard. Inspired by Quinn, gonna go for a jump just onto the back of the dragon to join that resplendent ruffian.
Go for it.
Can I use the help action to try and grab her and make sure she
Yeah,
makes
for
the
sure.
jump? So,
Make a
Alright.
acrobatics check with advantage.
Woot. That advantage helped because one of these was a 4 and the other one comes out to 27.
Yeah, you're able to, grab on and a big yeah, I got you. And Quinn pulls you up, and you are both now riding the head of a giant reanimated shadow dragon thing.
And like the gash on the bone that Quinn's attack left, I'm just gonna drive my axe into that 3 times. Just
3 times. Make your attacks. And you do see like the shadow is leaking out of like some of the cracks and the injuries you guys have made at this point.
delightful. These are good numbers. That is a 24, 26, and natural 20.
Oh, wow. Okay, roll your damage.
I legitimately do not have enough d6s.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna matter, but we'll find out for sure.
Oh god. 52 points of slashing damage.
52 slashing damage. Nat, how would you like to do this, my friend?
So I'm thinking the 2 axes go down into the skull, and then she like hefts and like is trying to rend the skull asunder, and isn't quite strong enough, and she actually has Quinn come around and take one, and like on either side, just for like legs braced against either side of its skull, just rip the dragon skull in half.
Like,
If Quinn's okay with that.
yeah, Quinn actually like grabs like hold of his rapier and then like plies it so it like
Yeah.
pushes it like the crack further out.
Yeah! You open this crack in the dragon skeleton and it roars. It's just this huge echoing roaring sound, but it doesn't come from the dragon's mouth. It's like it's coming from inside the shadow like entity force that's been reanimating and filling it. And with the sound of the roar and the cracking of the bone, all of the shadow begins to just leak and whoosh back out and dissipate into the air. And the bones start to just fall back to the ground. So Ava and Quinn can make acrobatics checks to land without getting injured. As all of these bones just fall 10 feet from 10 feet into the air, the dust and dirt just rising up from this collapse. The earth elemental is also crushed.
Oh.
Oh, the elemental was under the ground because
Was
it
under
has
the-
that like.
Oh, it was
earth
under the ground? I thought you just said it was under the dragon.
No,
So
not
I just
the
like,
ground.
That's a 26.
oh, okay, yeah.
Ooh,
You look
beat
super
me.
badass.
I got a 24.
You
I
both
imagine
look
Ava
super
just legit like falls down, lying down on the ground.
just like reclining.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, you guys have vanquished the spirit of a reanimated Umbrasyl. And as you all stand there, looking around in the sudden silence of this combat being over, you hear a sparking and sputtering sound from back towards the back of the cavern. And you see as another red gateway, like the one that the priestess vanished through, opens up. And panting and exhausted out through it, you see a tiny blonde gnome figure with like smoking, singeing hair and armor, and a larger pale gray Goliath figure kind of sheepishly carrying his axe in over one shoulder behind her. As she's just going, girl, you really can't just like run off like that. I mean, we've got places to do, and we got to talk about that, more. As the gate like zips shut behind them. And it's just like, right, Pike, I'm sorry. And they look up and see all of you, and they go, "Oh, you're okay. I'm so glad you're all right. Oh, okay, this is great."
Yeah, we gained a bear too.
Oh, hi, buddy. And Pike will go and just sort of like ruffle the bear. She's like, "I know you're not, the same buddy, but I like you too."
Yeah, as like these 2 new people have arrived, Quinn immediately like turns to this like spirit he's been seeing and is like, right, I killed the dragon. I've protected whoever they are that apparently you know. So like, who are you? I demand a name.
The only word that you hear back is string bean.
Oh.
Yeah, Quinn goes, string bean. That's a stupid name.
And you hear a sudden a gasp from the little gnome. Go, what did you say?
And Quinn just goes on a ramble. He's like, "Oh, you see, I'm like, Warlock to the Raven Queen, and there's this spirit who's been following me around, and now he tells me after I kill a dragon that his name is Stringbean, and that's kind of, anticlimactic. I was expecting like a really cool name, and Stringbean of all things, and he's like off on a rant completely.
And you see Pike, her eyes actually sort of like fill up with water. And she clutches the Everlight amulet around her neck and she goes, tell him Pickle says hi.
Oh.
Yeah, Quinn just turns to like there's like nothing, like this wall essentially, and he's like, apparently Pickle says hi. Who are you people? You are all crazy. I'm not having anything more to do with this.
You do see this raven spirit. If you could see a raven laugh, like this spirit is cracking up right now, just like having a grand old time watching your confusion. And as your party begins to make its way back out through the way you came, Pike is saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's I guess the festival and our lunch is kind of canceled, but I'm sure we'll still be able to find some way to celebrate because I mean, looks like we've got another defeat of, I guess, Umbrasil under our hands." And she looks, kind of very concerned. And you guys reach the outside of the cave and are able to begin to make your way back down the way that you came down Gat Shadow to Westruun.
I would go to Pike before she leaves. I have met Keyleth when she was in the Earth Shari. Tell her Pattis gives her his regards.
Oh, and Pike will go, "Oh, so you've met Keyleth. Oh, that's great. I know she really gets around and stuff. Not quite as much these days as we used to. But that's great. I'll definitely tell her. And if you happen to see her again, tell her Pike says hi. I always do. This has been so great. I know that the bakery's kind of a mess right now, but we still probably got some stuff that's not too stale yet. So let's come on and we can see what we can salvage for some good celebrations."
Sounds good to me. I'm starving.
And so Vox Machina and some of the members of Vox Machina can make their way back down through the mountains of Gat Shadow to celebrate yet another victory over Umbrasil, the Hope Devourer. And that'll be it for the one shot, y'all. You did it. Nobody died.
Yay.
I got kind of close.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wait, really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, things kept hitting me for just like
Why didn't you
chunks.
say anything? It's like a part or something. I didn't know.
Oh, that's okay. I had like 16 left, but another good bite, I was going down.
Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you everybody so much for coming to play with us. Thank you everybody who's donated.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I'm so glad you guys had a good time. I had a lot of fun writing this. I wanted to run a game for Critical Role, just like Themes and Tal'Dorei for a long time. The folks over the cast and crew have done just wonderful things for me, and I know many others. So this was just a little way that I thought would be nice to sort of channel some of that critter giving energy that they try to encourage and give a little bit back. Yes. And before we go, just real quick, I do want to thank again, everybody at Variant Roles. I want to thank Gloss and Gadgets for donating these amazing overlays that we got to use. Torn Pixie, I want to thank you for your amazing closed captions tutorial that we were able to use today. And before we go, I do just want to give everybody one more chance to go around, say where it is that we can find you, and if there's anything you want to promote before we head out. Let's start going the opposite way this time with Mike.
My Twitter's Silent Chariot. I just like to say hi to Nat and Kaya, my nieces, if they're watching. I've been to a camp called I've been to a camp in Wisconsin called Easter, and they had a website, Easter Seals, Wisconsin. It's a camp for people with disabilities. I've gone there when I was a kid, and I just like to promote that.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for promoting that for us. Next up we have Sam.
Oh, me.
Yeah. No, I'm not referring to
yeah.
myself in the third person. This is true.
Sam's do these things, you know? Also, I would just like everyone to know that Trinket 2.0 is named Bauble, and I will be keeping her.
Into it.
Love it.
Ven is going to have a bear now. Just deal with it. I'm Sam with I'm Samtastic with 3 M's. You can find me on Twitch and on Twitter. I do the video game things, and I also play D&D on a couple of different channels, like here. And on the RPG Lab, I'll actually be there Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you guys want to check that out, I will be playing a very different character. Thank you, Sam, for organizing this and having us take part in this. And thank you guys for watching. Yeah, Able Gamers is amazing. If I had to promo one other thing, it would also be Take This, which is I'm a stream ambassador for Take This. And they just do such good work for raising mental illness awareness and breaking the stigma, especially in our industry. So
that's awesome.
They also have our someone at Take This that was very important, who Dr. B wrote a one-shot and introduced the cleric class called the Psychomancer. So that's cool. It's on DM's Guild if you're interested in that. Yeah. Thank you, Sam.
Cool. Thank you. And Mustang, who are you and where can we find you?
Just again, my Twitter is Mustang's Art. There is also a Twitter for my show on Saturdays, Saturdays, which is I couldn't remember. I've lost all track of the days. Which is at H Without Limits. The show is Heroes Without Limits. Again, it promotes disability representation and education in a D&D 5th edition setting, which Sam plays in as Twilla, the Ashkenazi barbarian. We're doing the Lost Mine of Fandelver at the minute, which is a lot of fun. What else? Oh gosh. If I could promote anything, it would be not just that show, but also the Ehlers-Danlos Society, which give out a lot of information online about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, all the different types of it. I myself am a hypermobile type. And basically you can read everything on there, including access to medical papers, into research, things like that. It's really good education-wise. We'd just like to promote that because it's a chronic illness that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for giving that shout out. We also have Nat. Tell us about you and where we can find you.
Hi, I am all about the D&Ds and the life. You can find me on Twitter at Crimnat, Kreim Nat. It's the opposite of how you'd expect it because it's German. I just want to say that this has been an absolutely lovely experience. It's been wonderful to play with all of you. And on top of that, that's not just because you're amazing players who are bright and amazing and fun. It's also because as someone who is invisibly disabled, this kind of work means so very much to me. So thank you all, and that's all I'd like to say.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Nat.
I just like to thank Sam and thank y'all and thank y'all for watching as well.
Thanks, guys. And we still have Anna. Tell us about you, where we can find you.
Yeah, so it's Anna. You can find me on Twitter at Nymeria941. I always post there when I start streaming on Twitch or when I have new content uploaded on YouTube. I make a lot of content about books and geeky stuff and its intersection with queer activism and disability activism and history. And then if I could plug something briefly, the charity that I usually stream for just kind of on my own is called One Drop for Flint, and it raises money to help people affected by the ongoing clean water crisis in Flint, Michigan. if you want to learn more about that, you can follow them as well on Twitter at One Drop for Flint. Of course, go, follow Able Gamers and all of the good work that they do too. And thank you to all of you guys and our awesome DM for a great game. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. I am Sam. I go by @Samwise_GameG on Twitch and Twitter. I try my best to be a chronic illness, disability, and accessibility advocate. I have ankylosing spondylitis and Crohn's disease and am an ostomate myself. So I really, really appreciate the work that Able Gamers does to help make sure that gaming is more accessible. And I really appreciate everybody who came out today to play with me and to come and watch us. Really just meant a lot to do this project. It's something I wanted to do for a long time. I got into Critical Role when my health first started to totally tank into total disability, and they just gave me a lot to, sort of hang on to and refocus. And this was just a little thank you and a love letter to them. So, thank you, Critical Role. If you guys ever see this, I love all of you. But you can see me on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, actually. Not this week, but next week I play in a game called Agora's Bells over at the Chromatic Chimera. They actually do have a stream going on that's starting right about now. I'm going to drop a link because unfortunately we're not able to raid right now. But anybody who's looking for some more fun D&D, this is actually a really fun homebrew 5e game that I would love to support. I play with them on alternate Wednesdays. I also play in Heroes Without Limits on Saturdays with Mustang as my DM, and they are an amazing DM, so you should definitely come and check that out. And I do have some upcoming projects that I'll be able to talk about more in detail soon. So follow me on Twitter so you can see all of my updates. And I want to thank Variant Roles again, and Kyle, thank you so much for running tech for us. So thank you, everybody. Head over to the Chromatic Chimera. The link seems to not be working, but their username is correct. So if you find that username, it's right, and it'll be a good time. They're good. They are some good beans, too. So check everybody out. Have a good time. Critter PSA, Critical Role is not playing tomorrow on Thursday. They are playing live from Gen Con on Friday this week. So rather than, I guess, is it Thursday yet, I'll have to say, is it Friday yet? And have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to love each other.
Yes, don't forget to love each other. Goodbye.